All right.
All right. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'll go ahead and get rolling here. Last time, you guys had found the location of what you presume to be the last of the cultists within the Somber Hills, leading you to the Scarlet Moon Hall. The Scarlet Moon Hall turned out to be this large, sort of dilapidated tower on top of a large hill, surrounding which were a bunch of different camps. You had learned that there was some sort of ritual that was going on by people claiming to be druids working to heal or otherwise relieve the land of some of the trouble that has been happening around the area. Upon further investigation, you found the ritual involved a couple of priests chanting to a large wickerman, burning wickerman that was at least 2 stories tall. And after they finished their chanting, the wickerman began to animate. A very, very tough battle ensued, and you barely managed to kind of come out on top. While getting away with arrest, most of the rest of the camp had fled, and you had one solitary figure watching you from the top of the tower, one who had history with your druid compatriot Tegan. A war of words kind of exchanged between them, and the this pipe smoking man named Eliza Dryflagon whipped up a fire elemental myrmidon, which you dispatched. You also took care of Mr. Dryflagon himself. At the moment, he is tied up, bound, and gagged, and watching out the window of this floor of the tower. And that's kind of how you left him, watching as the sun is beginning to rise over the hill. And that's kind of where we left off. So I might remind you, for your benefit, that with the Myrmidon, the Fire Elemental Myrmidon down, you now have all 4 slots necessary to form the key and access Belsamir. The ruins that inhabit most of the rest of this land are underneath of it. To your knowledge, there are 3 so far that you found, 3 locations or 3 ways into the ruins of Belsamir. One at the Pirate Keep, one at the Sacred Stone Monastery, and one that Dr. Toomes says he'll be able to point out to you when you return to the Sighing Valley. You don't know exactly where it is yet, but Dr. Toomes suggested he knew a location nearby the tower, and he suggested that you visit him once you manage to acquire all 4 shards of the key. That being said, it is up to you as to how you want to proceed, and of course, there are a few more floors of this tower that you haven't explored.
Oh, are there?
Yeah.
Well, there's the ladder leading up. There's a trap door you haven't opened up, and then there's this. This goes down somewhere.
Presumably to the refuse below from the
Below.
other.
Right.
You guys want to go up first?
Yeah, let's go up.
Sure.
Okay, who's climbing the ladder?
I am.
Okay, what is your passive perception score?
Oh, great. 15.
Okay, as you climb up towards towards this trap door, you do hear what sounds like squeaking or perhaps screeching on the other side of the trap door, as if
From like an animal or from like a piece of metal, like a hinge?
Sounds like an animal.
Would your ranger skills be able to determine what the squeaking is?
Ooh.
If you wish, I'd like to make a nature check to see if you can determine what it is. Sounds like bats.
Oh.
All right. Is there a way for me to open the trapdoor while also not being on the ladder?
No.
Like perhaps a long stick to push it open? Something? I don't know.
I mean, you can steady yourself on the ladder and push a stick up. You'll have to unlatch the trap door, though.
How heavy is the trapdoor?
You haven't tried to open it yet.
I'm gonna. Can someone hold the ladder so it doesn't fall over when all these bats come out? Also, I'm going to take some rope out of my pack and kind of tie myself to the ladder so I don't get pushed off of it as they come out.
Okay.
Anyone? Someone grab me that chair. I'm going to hold that chair in front of my face, so I'm going to open this when they come out so they don't hit me in the face.
It's daylight, right? It's now.
It's early morning, so there's just barely daylight.
So here's the scene. I'm on this ladder. I have a chair I'm holding with one hand. I am tied to the ladder via a rope.
Mm-hmm.
And someone is steadying the ladder, and I'm going to open it with this chair above my head. Here we go.
Who's steadying the ladder?
I
I
am.
will.
Yes,
Okay.
the strong man will get out of the way, mage. I'll
Mm.
move my. There we go. Got it.
All right. So you're taking this chair and you're kind of pushing up on the trapdoor after you've kind of unlocked the hinge, and you're just kind of pushing the chair up. As you do, you hear persistent squeaking, and
Or we could just use the mage hand. Yeah.
No,
we
no,
could do
no,
that.
no, no. I was
Oh,
I
no.
was get out of the way, mage. I was just merely looking to see what that if I could.
What that spell does? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, no, no. Feel free.
You know what? I'm already tied in. Let's do it.
okay. As you open the trapdoor with the chair, there's a furious sound of squeaking as something large is trying to push through the chair. I'd like you to make a strength check.
All right.
Okay. Okay. So, something large and something heavy and something aggressive and something hungry is pushing against the chair. And it's getting to be a little too much that it's beginning to push through.
I'm backing up. I'm not holding the ladder.
Right.
All
Now,
right.
the ladder
At this
is being
point,
pushed down.
is it able for the trapdoor to close? Like if I were to pull the chair down towards me, would the trapdoor follow and also close?
This bat or whatever creature it is right next to the chair. So whatever it is, if you lower the chair, it's coming through now. So, and it's pushing through with enough strength that it's beginning to kind of push you tied to this ladder back and down. Now, Tuck, if you're steadying it, I need you to make a strength check.
Yep.
Don't fail me now.
Check, not
That's
save.
a save.
Oh, damn.
No. Strength. Check. Sorry. Oh.
All right. So you're not very good with this ladder, and you push against it, which just causes the ladder to kind of fall back with Dr. Connors tied back onto it. Now, I'd like you to either make a strength saving throw if you wish to catch him, or a dexterity saving throw to see if you can avoid him as he falls.
Catch me, baby.
Check, or saving throw, excuse me. Not check
Saving
this
throw.
time. Saving
Oh,
throw.
Add 3 to
Now,
that.
now,
Strength the first
now,
time, saving throw this time.
now I crit.
Okay.
Wow.
So Dr. Connors, tied to this ladder, falls back on top of Tuck.
Hilarious.
So Tuck, you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as Dr. Connors falls on top of you. And Dr. Connors, you're tied to this. Whoops. You're tied to this ladder.
Yeah. What could go wrong? Am I right, guys?
What can go wrong?
And
we see
as
what
as the ladder falls over, you watch as one of these creatures begins
What the
flying
fuck is that?
through.
I can't even see
I
what
need
that
everybody.
is.
A large, giant bat. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Yes. Get out of the way, mage.
And you hear more squeaking above.
Oh.
You deserve that one.
And I rolled shit for initiative.
All right. At the top of the round, Tuck, you are prone. You have Dr. Connors tied to a ladder on top of you.
Jesus Christ.
Can I bonus action? No, I have an idea.
You have to stand up first.
I'm going to stand up.
Okay. A little hard with him on top of you, so you're going to either push him off of you as you stand up, or you're going to have to kind of push him up with you.
And the ladder.
How is he tied to the ladder?
I put a rope around me and then around the ladder, just like a one-time around. That way I couldn't fall off the ladder.
I'm going to punch the ladder to break it where the rope is tied around it.
Oh man, what a man.
All right. Make an ability using your strength modifier. So just a strength straight up, or excuse me, you're a monk, so you can use dex. So make an unarmed attack strike then. All right. You break the ladder around the rope at one of the hinges with your first strike, and that loosens it up to where, Dr. Connors, you no longer have the rope connecting you to the right side of the ladder, but it's still connecting to the left side.
I can work with that.
Was I able to slide aside since it's now?
I mean, he's still kind of on top of you.
So I'm going to use my movement to slide or push him over and slide down here.
Okay, done.
Kind of roll and then stand.
All right, done.
How much movement did I use roughly?
We'll say 10 feet.
10 feet. Okay. I'm now going to slap this stupid bat.
Okay.
Because he's made me angry.
Did you roll unarmed strike first? Oh no, that was for the.
Yes, that was for the
ladder. So, yes, well, that was his bonus action to strike it. All right, so both of those attacks will land. 12 and 9 is 21. All right, you badly bludgeon this large bat, however, it's not out.
Stunning strike.
Okay.
Constitution saving throw.
All right. Thank you.
Fail.
All right.
14.
The bat is stunned. All right. Will go next. He's going to politely take one step backward, point at the bat, and yell something vicious.
Something vicious.
Is he gonna mock it by chance?
Yeah, he's going to say something vicious. That's exactly what he says, in fact. Something vicious. All right. The bat begins to curl up at this vicious mockery and causes it to actually die. However, you hear more squeaking above. And watch as 3 more large bats begin to fly and pour into the room. Just kind of flying right on in there. As they do, as this one shifts down to the south, Dr. Connors and Tuck, go ahead and make attacks of opportunity.
I'm still on the ground. I don't think I should be.
Oh, you're on the ground, so you don't get an attack of opportunity then. Tuck, go ahead and make one attack of opportunity. Okay, good enough, if you wish. All right, so that'll swing in, and that'll hurt the bat that flies off to the south. However, they're going to move in for their attacks. They're all going to attempt to bite. We'll have this one up north will actually swing in. He's going to attempt to bite Dr. Connors, who is still tied to the rope and prone on the ground, doing a whole 3 points of piercing damage to you. And then this one's going to attack Will, doing a lot more piercing damage to him. And then this one's going to attack Kent. And that is going to be your AC, so you take 4 points of piercing damage as these bats fly out from the north, or fly out from above you, into the room and begin to bite. And Dry Flagon, by the way, is kind of shifting around, unnerved by this entire affair. Dr. Connors, you have this bat attacking you. You have at least one half of you tied to this rope, which is tied to this ladder, which is on the ground, and you are prone.
Cool. Can I use my sword to cut the rope, I suppose, so I can stand up?
Sure. You don't have to make any sort of attack roll. It's simple enough that you can do so.
Yeah, I'm gonna slide out my swords and cut the rope and stand up, and then try to attack this. I guess would that all be movement, or is that a bonus action?
You can use either. We can use a bonus action. We'll say to cut the rope and free yourself from the ladder. You still have an attack action, so you can swing in with the sword if you wish.
Sure. I'll swing in with fury.
Okay. Good enough. You slice through one of the wings of the bat, causing it to screech out in pain.
Cool. That's it.
Are you following through with the bet?
Oh yeah, thank you. Nagini.
All right. The 12 is not going to be enough. The bat manages to fly out of the way as your snake goes in for the bite, missing it by mere inches. All right. Tegan will take out his new. Well, he never attuned to that yet, so he's going to actually just he's going to throw him with the one real close to him, I think, which is going to hit. and he'll attack the one to the north that you just attacked. And that's going to be enough. All right. Nagini is up next.
Cool. She's gonna move down, or he or she, I don't know. Snake's gonna move down to here
All right.
and still attack the same one here.
Okay.
When you said that's going to be enough, did you mean that's going to be enough that it hit
hits,
or
not
killed?
enough to kill.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
It wraps, the thorny vines wrap around it, and it screeches in pain. It's looking pretty bad and injured. 11's not going to
snakes
be
don't
enough.
like bats, apparently.
No.
That's it.
Bat flies out of the way. Kent, you're up.
All right. I'm here. Who do I got in front of me? Hold on one second. Let me just check something. I need to check something on the character sheet real quick.
I need the roll concentration for my Hunter's Mark, I believe, unless I want to use another spell slot. Let me read how this goes. Hold on.
Okay. So 15 feet. 1, 2, 3. That's 15 feet. Hey, Kelly, what would you consider the cone for that spell? For burning hands.
So the general way the cone works then is you choose the direction in which to aim it. It starts at 5 feet directly in front of you, and then 10 feet next to that 5 feet marker, then at 15 feet within those markers. So if you're aiming it in this general direction, it'll hit there, then it'll hit both of those areas, and then it'll hit around that 15-foot mark.
Okay. All right. Then I am going to basically aim in that general direction, and I will spare Will and the snake.
Okay.
And
If you're aiming in that general direction,
It won't
the
hit
way
Will.
the cone will work, it won't hit anybody except the bats.
Oh, okay. Okay. I gotcha. I'll be honest with you, by the way, real fast. If the guy at the bottom had been in any kind of range, I wasn't sparing him. But we will cast that at level 1.
All right.
Let me just find my thing. Right hands, level 1, submit.
All right. Dex saves for 2 bats. First one's going to be a success. The second one's going to be a fail. So you watch as the bat that's close to Dr. Connor's end, Tuck, gets ignited in flame, and it actually burns to a crisp. The one next to you, flying almost kind of directly above Will, gets ignited a little bit, catches a little bit of this fire, but he's otherwise doing okay. All right. At the top of the round is Tuck.
Gonna hit the one that's just to my lower right there. Can I'm in range of him, or do I have to move?
To your lower right,
Yeah.
You would have to shift over here where the dead myrmidon is.
No, the one here, this one.
Oh, you were in range of that one, yeah.
Whatever. I moved anyway.
Okay.
I wouldn't hit him once.
Okay. All right. That first swing is actually being enough, especially with that two-handed damage. That it takes him down in one fell swing.
Okay.
So that
I'm
back
gonna
goes down.
move over here and hit the other bat.
All right. It ducks out of the way of that one, and it manages to fly to that swing.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Will is going to take out his rapier, and moving forward is going to attempt to pierce at this bat. Critting for once. It hits. He manages to hit this creature hard. However, it does not quite take it out. This bat, screeching in pain and hunger, is going to attempt to retaliate with a bite against Will, and he does land the hit. All right, Dr. Connors.
Forgot I was on push to talk. I'm gonna move south just a bit, and then I can't get to that at all, can I? I guess I'll use my bow.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot it without the cold damage.
Okay, good enough. The arrow manages to find its mark, and the last of these large bats, screeches and dies. You're out of combat.
And then they
Ooh.
coalesce to form a vampire lord.
Well, now that that's done with, I'm gonna climb this ladder.
What ladder are you going to climb that's
Oh
broken?
yeah, it's time to go. Is it still open up there? It has to be because those bats flew in.
The trap door is still open. Yes.
Hmm,
Let's shift the desk around. You can stand on the
okay.
desk and.
I was gonna say, can we make like a makeshift like hook? You know what I mean? To throw up on a rope. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, we can move that desk.
Put the half ladder on the desk because we still have
Yeah.
half a ladder.
All
Okay.
right, let's try that.
Well, good enough. We'll say that it works.
Good enough.
Peering up, you get a sense of this room. The ladder there's another ladder within this room that looks like it leads up. The room or the floor in this room also looks a little unsteady. The ladder here, you think, probably just leads up to the roof. That's probably an emergency escape.
Nothing in the room at all? Or, well, I guess
You
we
can make
gotta go in it first, don't we?
Not that you can immediately see. You can make a perception check if you really want to check anything.
Okay, well, I mean, it looks like a pretty much empty room, but who knows? Character.
I'll check it.
All right. Peering around the room, you don't see anything that immediately catches your senses.
Okay. I assume we all climb up.
The ladder leading up looks like it just leads out to the roof, and it's a long way down.
There's nothing on the roof. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so basically, this ladder leads up to an emergency escape hatch to the roof, and you think that if Dry Flagon thought that the entirety of this tower was going to catch on fire and burn, or whoever thought that the entirety of this tower was going to catch on fire and burn, and they weren't able to climb down through the scaffolding, the emergency escape hatch through the roof would probably be serviced the alternative option.
All righty, climbing back down our crappy ladder on top of a desk.
For the hell of it, I'm just going to climb up to the top of the roof and just look out. Is there anything I can see? Anything that looks like it's going on?
Make a perception check.
Yep, 1 second. Perception is.
And not that you can tell. You can see the sunlight. The sun is rising over the horizon. It's getting to be early morning, maybe about 7 o'clock or so in the morning. But otherwise, it's too dark to make anything else out.
All right, coming back down. By the way, out of game, I'm glad you didn't have the giant bats enter when we had 8 panthers in the room, because that would have been very fucking confusing.
No shit.
Okay.
We searched. For that matter,
we searched this room, right? Like this.
You did. You got at the end of the last session. I think you got pretty much everything out of here.
Okay.
I'm just going to move the dead bodies kind of off so that you have a little bit more room to see.
All right. I will go back down the set of stairs we came up, and
Okay.
I guess I will be in
down over this room.
Yeah. I'm over here.
The scaffolding leads outside, and the floor in the center of the room is dilapidated. As you enter in, you do hear what sounds like some impish laughter below.
Can we see below us? Is it too dark in the thing?
It's pretty dark. Kent, you're not going to be able to see anything yourself, not without tossing some light down there.
Right.
However, if all of you are going to peer down, Dr. Connors, do you have dark vision?
I do.
They all do, but for me.
Okay, so because I'm controlling the other two, I'm not going to do rolls for them. But Dr. Connors and Tuck, go ahead and make perception checks if you're going to look down there. All right. Tuck, you were able to actually peer down through the darkness, and as you peer down, a couple of things catch your eye. First off, at the very, very bottom, you can see a large pile of refuse piled up to what looks to be an old door to the south. Secondly, you look at what appears to be maybe some sort of tunnel at the very, very bottom here that leads somewhere underground to the north. But protecting this tunnel surrounding this refuse, you see five rather impish-looking creatures that are kind of giggling and looking up in your general direction.
Do they describe this? I assume.
Yeah, it's up to Tuck.
Tuck.
Yeah.
Can we roll something to see if we have any idea what those might be, even though we can't see them, or I can't see them?
As he describes it, go ahead and make an Arcana check, Kent. Okay. These, you have a fairly good understanding of elemental spirits, and these creatures are often mistaken for a type of imp. However, they are not imps. They are not demonic creatures. They are elemental creatures from the elemental plane of fire. They are mischievous elemental fiery elementals called magmin, like magma mini almost, and they have a penchant for just being really, really crazy pyromaniac kind of critters. They like to set shit on fire and watch as things explode.
Do we get the impression that they could climb up here at any moment?
You think if they could climb up here, they would have?
Gentlemen, I don't know about you all, but I suggest that we leave these creatures be. It's up to you, though.
Yeah, I don't care. We can kill him. We can leave him. What's the harm in leaving him? Probably a bunch of death. What's the harm in killing him? Probably our death because we won't be able to get out of there. Also, there might be treasure down there. I don't know.
Garen?
I don't know.
Well, you're a monk, right?
Yep.
We could tie a rope around you and you could do some like karate kicks and shit and we could pull you back up.
Like Broadway Spider-Man.
Like a Broadway Spider-Man.
Wait, that didn't end well for who didn't that end well for?
We'll lower him down. He does all of his attack moves. We'll pull him back up before they can get to him. What could go wrong? Just him down there with 5 of them attached to a rope. Nothing right?
That could burn.
Tegan will throw out, because he would, that alternatively you could just shoot your bow at them or whatever from up here if you really wanted to take them all out.
I like that idea too. I shoot the first one.
How far down are they? Sorry.
So.
Well, the scaffolding was 30 feet high.
Yep. So this is 30 feet straight down. Now, as you lean over and you try to shoot one of them from this unstable floor.
Oh.
That's just dirty. That's just dirty right there.
That's rude.
You're going to have to save.
I would like you.
Did I mention I tied a rope around
to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Oh, jeez. Oh. Are you fucking kidding me? I get a +5?
You rolled a 2.
You take
0 damage because I'm so awesome.
9 points of damage as you fall at the very, very bottom of this pit. Prone.
But I healed myself.
And all 5 of these creatures begin to surround you with a joyful cackle. I need everybody to roll initiative once more.
Real quick, Killy, you described what those creatures were, right? And
Yep.
if I have a working knowledge of what those creatures are, do I know what they are vulnerable to or not vulnerable to?
Not with a 20. You would have had to have gotten something higher than that.
Okay.
With a 20, you know what they are and you know what class they come from.
Okay.
And give basic understanding. But
did that 14 hit though?
Yeah, it did.
4 damage. Yeah.
So just ping the one you want to damage.
You know, this one.
All right. So the arrow manages to find its way in. It grimaces, but it just looks kind of hard to tell. This thing just has an evil sort of glee to it. All right.
Cool.
Dr. Connors, you were up first.
can't wait. All right. Get me out of here! I yell up to my friends up top.
By the way,
And
as you're looking
then
down at
I,
this place, what you landed on is actually this large pile of rubble, which looks like just a bunch of burnt up furniture and flooring, and the creatures themselves are actually sitting around some wooden beams that have dilapidated into this section. But you do see there is clearly a tunnel that leads off to the north somewhere and downwards.
okay. There's a tunnel down here. I let him know.
Okay.
Well, I certainly can't cast that.
Doing something risky here. Trying out my new spell. Let's find out how it goes. Spike growth.
Okay. Center of the point within range twists and grows. When a creature moves into it or within the area, it takes 2d4 damage for every 5 feet it travels.
So it'll just be this whole area down here, and if they move within it, they take 2d4 per 5 feet. Yep.
Okay. So 20-foot radius. 5, 10,
Yeah, it's just the whole thing down here because it's smaller than 20 feet.
Right. We'll say kind of like this.
I think it'd be the whole room, right? Since this is only a 10-foot radius room.
I guess it didn't say whether it's a cube or anything, so yeah, we'll just call it that entire floor.
Oh wait.
So sure. All right. So the
The
entire
floor? Hang on. Or is the 2 upper corner ones empty? Because I'd like to get down there.
20 feet. The entire floor, the entirety of this area is now covered in spikes.
Well, I'm hoping from my yell that you get me not down here. I think it'd be much easier just to shoot them. I don't know though. But I'm going to try to use my swords against this guy. I'll try to. No, I can't because I just cast a spell. I'm dumb. All right. Yep.
You just cast.
Yep. All right. So that's it.
All right. All right. Let me just take a look at one of Will's spells here, because he might be able to make things really, really easy, really, really fast.
By the way, one of my new spells is Evard's Black Tentacles. Now, 2 things would not make this even possible for me to cast on my turn. 1, I don't have a piece of tentacle from a giant octopus or a giant squid, which I don't know if I will ever have that, but I thought it was a cool spell. Secondly, I can't see the floor.
So Will is going to look over, making his own dexterity saving throw. And he's going to fall in. He'll take 9 points of damage himself. And he'll get up. That's basically his movement. And he's looking around the area here, looking kind of concerned all of a sudden. And he is going to look at the creature surrounding them. And he will ask, hey, guys, could you, I don't know, retreat back down the hall there, that tunnel? And he's going to cast Compulsion. I guess it's not how the spell works, but anyway, that's what he's casting.
Wait, how does that spell work?
Creatures of your choice you can see that can hear you make a wisdom save. It automatically succeeds but can't be charmed. Until the spell ends, you can use your bonus action to designate a direction horizontal to you, in this case left or right. Each target must use its movement to move in that direction on its turn. You take its action before it moves. After moving, it makes another wisdom save. So,
No, I think horizontal means up, down, left, or right. It just means you can't make them fall down a hole.
oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do that. So he'll suggest that they move north. Okay, so they'll go ahead and make their, we'll run it that way. So they'll go ahead and make their wisdom saves. The first one, what's DC? 15.
His is 15.
All right, so the first one fails. The second one fails. Third, fail. Fourth, fail. And they all fail. And they're affected by the compulsion. All right. And he's going to use his bonus action. Well, to make that direction, but they can't do that until it's their turn. So Tuck, you're up next.
Okay. Let me run something by you. Since if I look over, I'm likely going to fall.
Well, you'll
I'd
probably
I'd rather
bet
take a
soon.
preemptive jump here. So
Superhero landing.
I want to swing down,
Okay, you have slow
slide
fall,
down
so I
the
don't think
wall.
Okay, you have slow fall, so I don't think you'll take any damage anyway.
I don't think I. Oh, I wouldn't anyway. Let's make this fun anyway. I'm going to swing down, slide
right.
down the wall. About halfway down, I'm going to jump towards this one
Okay.
and attack it with my staff for my first attack.
Okay. Now, one other thing I forgot, because they landed or moved into the area of the spike growth, Pant will have to take 2d4 piercing damage. So Miles, go ahead and roll 2d4 piercing against Will.
You roll crits, I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah, average.
All right.
No, not bad.
All right. Will's looking kind of hurt, by the way.
Okay, so yeah. So can I do what I just said or not? Or do I
You
have to
can.
roll
Land into the
acrobatic?
spike. You can.
I can. I will attack the douchebag.
All right, so you're landing here first, right?
No, I'm landing on him.
On top
Oh,
of him. I see. Okay, so you're landing on top of him. All right, sure.
Yes.
So 18 will land. That first swing goes in as you land on top of his head. Wonk, right across it. He reaches up. He's kind of furious. It hits. It's hard. He's already looking like he's ready to burst.
Hit him again.
Okay. Surprisingly, the 10 will miss. He manages to raise his own hand and block that second swing. All right, so the 25 will finish out. You punch him hard, and as you do, this creature below you cries out in fury and explodes in a burst of flame as it dies.
Jesus.
how big a flame?
Enough that it's going to hit every creature within 10 feet of it. I need Tuck, Dr. Connors, will have to make this too, to make a dexterity saving throw. Okay. So, those who succeed, first off, let's roll our damage here. All right. So those who succeed, which right now, Tuck and Miles, you both succeed, you take half damage. So you're taking 2 points of fire damage as this creature
I take
dies.
0.
You take 0 because of your shit.
Yes.
So you dodge the explosion entirely. Dr. Connors, you take 2 points of fire damage. Will.
We'll take
What's
all
the
5.
DC? No, the DC is actually pretty low. He'll only take 2 points of fire damage himself as
No
well.
shit. That's pretty cool.
And then the other 2 magmans actually don't take any damage because they're completely immune to fire damage. So this creature dies and it explodes. As the fire damage explodes, you can't help but notice that some of the refuse is beginning to catch on fire.
Oh, dear.
Cool.
And by the way, Miles, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay, you're good. The spike growth is maintained.
Right.
All right. So Tegan, on his turn, is going to shift around over here. He's going to look down against his better judgment. But he's fine. He manages to grasp onto a good point. In fact, he manages to find a perfect point where he's not able to fall down. And leaning down, he's going to look at the magman right next to both Dr. Connors and Will, and he's going to... Assuming it has that range. Yeah, it does. He's going to cast Thorn Whip on that magman. And it's enough that it hits, and it pulls him up by about 20 feet, connecting to this magical Thorn Whip. As it does, Dr. Connors, go ahead and make an attack of opportunity against it. We'll do the same. Well, we'll hold on to his. Let you do yours first.
Would
Okay,
it
good
pull
enough.
it 20 feet?
It pulls it straight up. Pulls
Yeah.
it 20 feet closer to the person using it.
10 feet.
That's whatever.
Yeah.
Pulls 10 feet close. Pulls 10 feet straight up.
Oh, whatever.
Well, it's still 10 feet up in the air. It's still
Yeah,
attacking
so,
opportunity.
all right. You manage to swing in as it gets pulled up in front of you. And you do, that creature explodes. So it is pulled up. However, it's still within 10 feet of you. So you will need to make another dexterity saving throw, as will, as that creature dies.
See, Killy, you just corrected me, but if he could pull it up 20 feet, nobody would have taken damage. I'm sure Garen and
I didn't take
Druid.
damage. I don't care.
All right. So let me roll my 2d6. All right. You take 1 point of damage, 1 point of fire damage. And Will takes 1 point of fire damage. And a little bit more of the refuse down here is beginning to catch on fire. Dr. Connors, I also need you to make another con saving throw. Okay.
Oop.
The spike growth disappears.
You're out to get me.
All right. Nagini, Snake, is up next.
Nagini's not going to do shit. She's going to stay right here until all these AoE bastards explode or get the fuck out.
All right.
Yep.
Kent, you're up next.
Well, as I couldn't see the bottom anyway.
Well, you've heard a couple of explosions down there.
And
Yeah.
the flames are lighting up, so that should cast some light down here.
Correct.
Yeah. You know what? Do I know? You mentioned earlier that they were immune to fire. Is that general knowledge to us or no?
It would have been communicated at this point.
Then all Kent is going to do is he is going to take a rope out of his backpack
And toss the Wand of Wonder down. No, go ahead.
No, is going to secure the. Is there something by me that I could secure the rope to?
Not on this floor. Not unless you not without tying it to yourself or to Tegan.
Well, I can move 30 feet, right?
Mhm.
And this floor is where the scaffolding was, correct? Like the entrance to where the scaffolding was?
Correct.
All right.
So if you wanted to run outside and kind of tie it to one of the bars that's around the scaffolding, you could do that. I'll allow.
Yeah, I'm going to run outside and tie the end of the rope to some of the scaffolding, and then as a bonus action, if you'll allow, I don't. If I would Mage Hand as a cantrip be a bonus action?
I don't think so. I think
Okay,
Mage Hand is kind of as an action.
Then just tying the rope right now and preparing for the next turn.
Okay. All right. That's what you're doing. The Magmans, there are 3 remaining ones, will look at you all impishly with glee, and they're all going to take individual attacks against the 3 of you who are down here. We'll have the first one make a swing against Will, which will hit. And as it hits, you can't help but notice that part of Will's cape begins to catch on fire. We'll have the other one swing in against Tuck. 14 won't beat your AC. You block this creature as it tries to swing in. One will swing against Dr. Connors and will miss. And part of Will is kind of on fire. At the top of the round is Dr. Connors.
So these all went, but they didn't have to run north due to the spell? Did I
Oh,
miss
you're
that?
right. I forgot about that. So they'll take their actions, but they will run north as part of the spell, leading down into the tunnel. As they do, go ahead and make attacks of opportunity against them.
All 3?
And then, you can make one attack of opportunity against one of them. I can tell you that this one is the most injured. So
Okay, sure, that one.
That's the only one I can hit, so I'm going to do that one first, actually. Let me try. He might die.
okay.
Oh, all right. I rolled a 9 regardless, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, so you miss yours. I'll have Will swing in with the rapier against one of them as they retreat, doing a wonderful swing. So as they start retreating down that hall, 2 of them will explode as they die. And it is going to hit all of you because they're going to be within 10 feet as they swing in.
Hola.
I will.
Hello.
What's going on, guys?
Just
Well,
fell into a pit, and I'm rolling some dex saves.
Oh, awesome.
I'm doing my best not to kill you, but we'll see what happens. All right, so you all succeed on the save. Tuck, you're not taking any damage because you're monk ship. As for the rest of you,
I need to make a save.
I already rolled the saves where you succeeded both times.
Oh, thank you.
5, 10, 11, 14 divided by 2. The other two are taking 7 points of fire damage.
What's the context?
As they die, they explode. You're exploring the rest of this tower. You fought off a couple of bats at the top. You're now at the bottom. You kind of fallen in. A large portion of this area down here is now alight in fire as you've killed 4 of the 5 creatures down here, and they're all kind of bursting into flame as they die. And this one is retreating down the tunnel to the north, and he is about to, let's see, 5, 10, he's about 20 feet away from Will down this tunnel.
Sounds like a raid mechanic.
Yeah,
create a pool of fire when they die.
Keely kind of overcast this, but when he says we kind of fell in, he means that he tricked me into falling in. He goes, hey, yeah, you could probably just lean over and shoot your bow. And so I'm like, okay, I do that. And he goes, you need to roll a dex save. Oh, you fell in. Oh, thanks, Kelly. Yeah.
Will doesn't use a bow. How did he fall in?
You did the same thing.
Did you grab him while you were falling and pull him in?
No,
I didn't have enough time to do that.
I had you look over to try to do some range shit, and you fell in too. So
I don't do range shit. What do I do? Oh, I guess I do some range shit.
You do a lot of range shit.
You do a
Most
lot
of the
of-
shit you do
alright.
is range.
by the way, it's your turn. You have like 5 hit points left. So
when I left, I was at full hit points.
So if I were you, I would back the fuck up because they explode 10 yards of damage.
a lot of
Alright,
this
so
bottom
am
floor
I
is kind of on
standing in
fire
fire?
now.
Am I standing in fire?
You're not in fire, but the much of the refuse around you and much of the tower around you is on fire.
Killy, would this all be the refuse down here, more or less, all to the south of where they're standing?
Yes.
Okay, so these would just be what, wood floors?
That's actually dirt.
Oh, okay. Wait,
So
the
dirt-
top or the
the
bottom?
dirt's not on fire. The tower surrounding it, on the other hand.
You know, I'm kind of glad I walked outside and tied that rope to the scaffolding.
Well, is that a path to the south or north? Like, which one's the path?
So there's a tunnel that leads south, or excuse me, there's a tunnel that leads north, and that's where
Okay.
this creature kind of retreated. He's now actually about 20 feet away from the rest of you. If you were to kill him from that distance and he exploded, it wouldn't hit any of you. There's a door to your south, but it's blocked by all this rubble, which is now a portion of it is on fire.
Have I cast any spells in the past hour?
You cast compulsion, which is what caused a lot of these guys to retreat down the tunnel, and 2 of them to die as they did so.
I was going to say, what happened to my 4th level spell slot? It's
I
gone.
burned it on you.
Thanks, man. Awesome. All right.
I mean, you were kind of.
Will,
My original plan was to do it while Dr. Connors was basically causing them all to retreat down the hallway.
all right. So
Time to get him up.
I'm looking at these guys who are dead.
Uh-huh.
And if so, everything within 10 foot of one of these dead burning guys is on fire. So that means I'm on fire.
Actually,
No.
you are on.
Well, actually, you are on fire
He
because
is on
one of these
fire.
creatures swung at him and caught you on fire. I forgot
So
about that.
I need to get like
Take a
like
water skin.
here. I need to get to like here to not be standing in fire. Basically.
You need to get out of this. You need to roll your. The best way to get yourself out of fire is to take a turn just rolling around in the dirt.
Question, was I skipped?
So I'm taking automatic damage just from being on fire every time. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, you know what? You were skipped. Yeah. So Dr. Connors, this creature is 20 feet down to the north.
But my bard friend here only has 5 hit points, is that right?
Correct.
All right. I'll just, I mean, I don't need to worry about that creature that's running away. Fuck it. I'm going to heal Will Ferrell for 4 points of damage.
All right.
I'll take it.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to put Hunter's Mark on that creature far away just in case it gets away. I want to be able to track it.
All right. Done.
So polymorphing myself into a flying something and flying away isn't going to work because I don't have the spot slot. That would have been the easy out.
I might throw out for your benefit that that magical loot of your masters does have a fly spell within it. Won't put you out of fire, but it will get you out of here really, really quickly.
You have 9 hit points, but it is 20.
I'm sorry, I'm talking into my mute button. There's only the one opponent left standing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's down.
Are these things particularly tough?
No.
It's just when they die, they explode, and that's a bad thing.
Yes.
And when they hit you, they set you on fire if you fail to save.
Yep. Which, by the way, you're taking a point of fire damage at the start of your turn because you are on fire. But your cloak, in fact, is on fire.
I'm taking a point of my cloak is on fire.
Yeah, this guy swung at you. You managed to catch your cloak, and so your cloak's on fire.
All right, I will waste my turn moving to here, so I'm out of the burning area. I will use my action to roll around on the ground and put the fire out, and I will use a bonus action to cast Healing Word on myself.
Okay.
And where's my Healing Word? Yay!
Woohoo! All right. You're up, Duck.
It's 20 yards away. 20 feet away,
Yep.
sorry.
Yep. Well, it's about 25 feet from you. You'll have to move up one. But
Okay, move me there, yeah. I'll attack him once.
All right. All right, that first swing bludgeons him. He is very, very badly injured. Looks like if he gets hit one more time, he'll go.
I'm pretty sure that killed him.
Yep, that'll do it. All right, he explodes down the tunnel surrounded by dirt. There's a bit of a reverberation, but nothing down the tunnel where all the dirt and shit is. Seems like it catches on fire. So you're out of combat. The refuse around you is burning, and parts of the tower at the bottom here are beginning to burn.
We're out of combat. I'm going to walk back into the top floor and toss down the rope.
Okay.
Nope. Snake's jumping into my arms. No rope for me.
Whee! All right. Make a dexterity saving throw as Snake jumps down. All right, you catch Snake.
All right, we're going to run into this tunnel where the fire isn't.
Well, real fast, I'm still going to throw down the rope, but I am going to remark to Tegan. I was going to say, you should have seen when I first met these guys. They were falling in holes all the fucking time.
All right, this rope has been tossed down in your general direction.
What's down the hole?
You don't know. It leads down. It leads down into the north somewhere. It hits down into the hill.
I'm hanging here until I have word from my compatriots. I assume they're going to be climbing back up to me.
I hope it leads to a long rest.
Parts of the
if there's a rope, we'll climb it. Otherwise, if there is no rope, you'll have to.
Okay, as you're climbing the rope, I'll need you to make a strength check.
Oh, my worst stat. My dump stat.
All right, good enough. You manage to climb the secure rope, and you're able to climb out of the currently on fire room up to the second floor. The fire is beginning to...
Intelligence was my dump stat, can't you tell?
The fire around the bottom floor is beginning to spread a little.
Is this a wooden tower, or is this a stone tower with wood reinforcements?
It's totally wooden.
Seeing as how we're not in combat, I'm going to say to Will, where are the other guys at?
Will shrugs his shoulders and says, I don't know, I just got here.
Well, no, you climbed up the rope.
No, I said Tuck is right behind me. They're going to climb up the rope.
Well, they may want to make it. I hope they make a decision soon, because staying in this tower may be untenable.
All right, I'm going to sneak myself back out and be like, come down here! There's a hole! Let's investigate.
The fire is beginning to spread even more around the first floor. Some of the refuse is beginning to catch on. Some of the fire is beginning to spread on some of the support beams.
Yeah, no, we need to get out, guys. Like out, like all the way out.
Do I see anything?
At least looks like
what kind of fire cult has a flammable building?
By the way, Dr. Connors, as you asked that question, go ahead and make a perception check. Okay. You're not able to see exactly where it leads, but based on prior assumptions and based on what you know about the area, you get the sense that this probably leads to another entrance into the room.
Guys, this leads to where we want to go anyways. Come on.
No, but no, we want to like hit town first, do we not? Before we head into the temple proper.
You also know, because
Gird up our loins, if you will.
I'll also add for your benefit, Will, since you were in here for the intro. There are four known entrances into this temple for which you have all parts of the key.
Yeah, each of the elemental temples had an entrance.
Right, and Dr. Toomes, back at the Sighing Spire, recommended you see him after you collect all 4 pieces, but it would be up to you how you want to proceed.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I would want to go back to town before we venture forth. Anyway.
All right.
I'll run back out and grab the rope. I'll start climbing. What's my strength save, right?
Strength check.
Ooh, not good.
Wow.
Is this a front door over here?
Surprise, as a bit of the fire leaps out from one of the support teams and catches a bit of your shoulder. You take 2 points of fire damage and very quickly pat it out. The fire is rapidly beginning to spread.
Okay, guys.
Right.
So
Do
basically,
I make it up the ladder or no? I mean, up the rope.
You have to make another strength check.
Okay.
I gave you the 2 points of fire damage because you crit fail. All right, you make it up by about maybe 5 feet, but the rope is beginning to kind of burn. You're just not being able to find purchase a little bit. Tucker, are you going to give him any support from down below?
Yeah, Tuck, give me some support.
Yes, I'm going to push him up.
All right, so go ahead and make one more strength check, but make it with advantage. All right, you managed to climb up the rope. By the time you do, Tuck, this entire bottom floor is practically on fire, and it's beginning to lick kind of around your feet.
I'm going to jump and catch the rope further up.
All right.
Oh, here comes acrobatics.
Make a athletics check for me. Done. You jump
And then I'm
up.
going to climb the rest of the way up.
All right. Whereas Dr. Cotters was grabbing against this rope like a nerdy teenager in middle school, you watch as Tuck does this like a fucking jockey and just clanks no problem whatsoever. And as you manage to catch up, the entirety of that bottom floor is now kind of on fire, save for the area around the dirt. It's beginning to lick its way around the bottom floor. You can hear the fire beginning to crack. You also hear about a floor above you the terrified cries of a man who sounds like he's been bound and gagged.
I'm out. I'm on the scaffolding. I'm starting my way down. I'm outside. I'm not making any effort to try to get out of a burning building and save that guy.
Who?
I'm going to...
Where was that sound from, Killy?
One floor
Above you. Dry Flagon, who you left bound and gagged next to a table, peering out.
What's the fastest way up there? These steps here?
Yep.
Will is going to make a break for it, full sprint.
Oh, God damn it. I'm going to. Let's go. Let's get him.
See you guys. Wait, I'll be outside.
Yeah, you guys get out. Just be ready to heal us when we have to jump off this fucking roof.
Sure thing. I'll have my healing spells ready. Wink.
All right, he's bound and gagged and tied to this table.
Take my rapier. Can I cut the ropes with a rapier?
Done.
All right, throw over my shoulder and down we go. Out we go.
Down or up? Can we go down?
Down is probably the best way out. All right.
Perfect. Let's go.
So in the interest of time, you throw him over your shoulder. You manage to climb out. The flames are beginning to look around, even the scaffolding at this point. And you run outside the hall.
I vote you throw him off the scaffolding just so he gets a little rude awakening.
No.
He's
The
not
flames are beginning to look
sleeping.
around the base of the tower, and you can watch as part of the scaffolding on the other side is beginning to collapse.
This is cool. This is the map I haven't seen. This is really neat.
All right, I'm coming down. I'm just getting down from the thing as quickly as I can without jumping off.
Yeah, as will.
Okay.
And then,
And then
moving
once we're down, just lean him up against. Well, no, because if the scaffolding falls, it'll fill this whole area.
Well,
I guess.
he's not bound now. I mean, did you knock him out?
No, you just put him over his shoulder.
No, he's still tied up. He's just not tied to the table.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna take him over here. I guess. Tie him to something over here, whether it's the tent pole or something sturdy or the wall.
That fire can't spread this far, right?
Sure.
No, I mean, but if the scaffolding falls, it shouldn't get this far.
Okay.
And
So All right. So as you're tying him to that, he looks up at you and begins to just kind of shake his head. He's gagged, so he can't say anything. As you finish tying the rope, you hear, and you watch as the entirety of the tower just begins to crumble and collapse around you, and this large cloud of dust begins to make its way towards you. You shield your eyes from the better part of the dust, but as you look out in the direction, there's a large sort of circle of fire that remains where the tower once stood. But surrounding this refuse, it looks like the entrance leading into the temple itself, nothing fell upon it.
Neat. That's
Plot
lucky.
point or mysterious aftermath of magic?
That's
Ba, ba,
lucky.
I was going to ask you before it fell, and the only good the only good reference point, like Twin Towers collapses in on itself, or like falls down as a building falls down, like to
Like,
like one side.
like it falls out on itself, like
Okay.
Twin Towers falls on itself.
Yeah,
Okay.
burning wood structures usually fall inward.
Okay.
Yep. Correct. But surprisingly, the tunnel leading down into what you assume is the entrance into the temple, there's nothing blocking it.
Okay.
There's this huge pile of rubble and debris that is on fire around it, but
We'll suggest that we beat feet and find greener pastures. The smoke from this fire is going to be seen from miles.
easily.
And I'm sure if anyone comes looking, we're in no shape to deal with them.
I wouldn't really worry about that because everybody pretty much ran away when the giant wicker man came to life.
Yeah, so it didn't reflect it correctly on these with all these camps, but the fires around these camps have been taken up. Whoever was surrounding the hillside is gone.
Okay, I wasn't here for that part, so that. No, but
right now you're the only ones on top of this hill, but this fire is clearly setting a large.
Yeah, but once people get the nerve up, they'll probably come to see either opportunists seeing if there's anything they can grab before people come back, or allies that come back to check on them, or what have you. I just as soon not be here when that happens.
Well, the question is then, where do you guys want to go?
Well, can we see the big map, Kelly? And can you tell me where we are on it?
Certainly.
Because, again, I missed that part.
So let's drag you over to the big map. All right. So.
Very good.
Here is the Scarlet Moon Hall where you currently are. Oops.
What happened? Oh, there you go.
There it is. All right. That's where you currently are. That's on the wrong layer. That's why it's causing grief. Whoops.
Now it's on no layer at all.
Hey guys, there's another layer there.
There. It's supposed to be in the map layer. It was on the token layer. Okay. So that's where you are with the Scarlet Moon Hall, which is about, well, almost a day's journey from Riverguard Keep, which is where you were earlier.
Yeah, let's. I would say we head northwest through this passage here to the Larch Pass and head back to Red Larch and recuperate and restock. Or when we're ready and we have a plan, we can head to Feathergale Spire and venture forth into the unknown.
Well, before we do that, before we go running up that way, I would recommend a short rest before we leave.
Oh, probably a long rest would be in order, but yeah,
well,
at least a short rest.
It can't be a long rest if you don't want to be here when people might show up, because that's 8 hours of sitting there and.
What time of day is it, Kelly?
Morning.
Early morning.
Like all right, yeah. So let's take a short rest. I agree with you 100%. Let's take a short rest, beat feet, and then when we're ready, we'll have to camp at least once between where we are and Red Larch, so we can take a long rest then.
Okay. Let me ask you this before you start rolling your short rest. Are you doing the short rest at the top of this hillside, or are you moving away from the hillside before you take a short rest?
I'm moving away from where it could be flammable.
Let's move away enough that we won't be easily noticed by people who show up.
Okay.
To see what's going on.
Okay. So you managed to do that.
In that direction towards Larch Path.
Sure. Okay. So you managed to retreat down into some of the brush that surrounds the hillside itself and get far enough away that you think is safe. So if you're going to go ahead and take a short rest, go ahead and just roll your short rest dice.
And to get the Song of Rest going, I will play a tune to help boost our spirits.
Killy,
Mhm.
before we continue on our path, I am going to cast Mage Armor on myself, and I should be able to get back 2 level 1 spells.
7. You'd have to link the ability for me to double
Yeah,
check
hold on. Why are you not linking? Oh, that's
Should
why.
get back 4 spell slots worth. If you're level 7, it rounds up.
Choose the spell slots. Spell slots have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your wizard level rounded up. So in your case, 4. So you can
So
get a
I should
total
get
of,
like 2 level 1s or 1 level 2 or
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
and okay. All right, that's fine. So Mage Armor casted, so I get 2 of those back.
Kelly, did you just put me at 20?
I didn't.
Oh, no, I did. Okay, 20. So 20
And 1
plus
level
2.
2 spell.
Another hit
Okay.
die. So wait, that was... So I should be at 5 after 2 of them. So another one. Third, I'm spending a 3rd hit die for 6 more. Spending a 4th hit die for 3 more.
How badly were you hurt?
I was down to 9. I'm gonna... Yeah, I might as well spend them. I mean, I'm not really...
Short
doing
rest, right?
sitting on them. Right. Why sit on them? I'm going to spend 1 more. 5. So I got 3 left if I need to use them.
Yep. By the way, while you're here, while I'm thinking about it, I want to throw out for your benefit too, then, Pant. I looked up a little bit more about Counterspell and how it relates to Jack of all trades, and you were actually right. And the reasoning behind that is Counterspell uses a ability check, not the attack bonus, which is what I was mistaking the first time. So when you use your Counterspell, you're using your Charisma check, and that's where it adds the Jack of all trades proficiency bonus. So your Counterspell is a +5 when you use it. I've set it up that way already.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that.
Yeah. The other thing I want to add for your benefit, and we haven't been super adhering to this, but when you do a Bardic Inspiration, that's something you're supposed to be doing as a bonus action on your turn, not as a reaction. You can use Cutting Words as a reaction, but Bardic Inspiration is a bonus action on your turn.
Oh, I can't actually spend it at will. It is a bonus action on my turn.
Correct.
Then how do I lend Bardic Inspiration? So I have to give someone Bardic Inspiration. I can't give it to them
Before you know they need it.
in the moment. I have to actually set them up with it.
So it has to be planned.
That sucks. Okay.
So basically, if I'm like, I'm about to open this door, can you give me some Bardic Inspiration? And then you give it to me, and then I roll.
That's really interesting. That changes my calculus for, I started thinking about 8th level when I was putting 7th level together, and we have another ability score adjustment or potential. And do I want to bring my charisma to 20? Well, one of the factors was, I get another die of Bardic Inspiration. That'd be great. But now if that utility of that Bardic Inspiration has gone down that's a considerable decrease in utility to how we have been playing it.
Right. And
maybe I don't want to. Maybe I do want to go with the feet.
Right. That being said, you can still use Cutting Words as a reaction.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'll add for all your guys' benefit, we've been adhering to this as far as I can tell so far, but you only get 1 reaction in a round.
Right.
Wait, have we not been doing that?
We've been adhering to that pretty well, but that's something to keep in mind going forward. That's why when you went against all those,
I can only attack
the
1.
fiery dudes, you can only attack 1 instead of all 3 of them as they retreated.
I was trying to be sneaky and ask if I could get all of them, but you were right.
Of course, if you had gotten all of them, they might have
would
all
have been
blown
my
up
death.
on Will.
Yep. Boom, boom. All right. So you've taken your short rest and rested for a little while. It's maybe about 9 or 10, 10 o'clock in the morning. Where are you going on the large path back to Red Larch?
Yes.
I believe that's the plan.
Where I assume we'll have to camp along the path at some point?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it'll be about a day and a half worth of travel. So, all right.
Killy is rolling dice to see if we're fighting another helmed horror.
If it's a day and a half worth of travel, we're going to sleep on the road then, right?
Yes.
Killy,
So
if we were to
that's
fight
a long rest.
if we were to fight a giant squid right now, I wouldn't be upset in the mountains.
So, first off, you get to a point where you do suffice from the benefits of a long rest. So go ahead and give yourselves the benefits of a long rest.
Okay.
Kent, if
All
you
right.
want to maintain your mage armor, I'll allow you to maintain your mage armor.
No. You know what? No, because it only lasts for 8 hours. I'll cast it again.
Okay. All right.
And I'll add my other spell slots and subtract just one from my first level.
Okay. So it's you manage to make your way along the path, making your way back to the town of Red Larch. And at this point of day, it's relatively late in the evening, maybe about 8:30, 9 o'clock. You're all kind of sitting alone in your separate bunks, eating dinner. And as you do that, I would like everybody to. Well, I take that back. Kent, I'd like you to make a perception check for me.
Oh, I knew this was coming to me. Hold on. Perception.
Okay. You hear voices, but you don't know from where. All of you hear voices, but you don't know from where. You hear them. You hear one voice say, "We have found them, the apprentice, he who has startled the master." And you hear a second voice say, "The master sees, the master knows, sees and knows, and sees and knows all things, all things."
If this is a two-headed ogre, I'm going to be pissed.
And you hear them say, you hear the voices. You're looking around. You're trying to find them. You hear them say,
Well, wait a minute.
the,
Real fast. Not the wait. So we hear the voices, but do we have to let on that when we know that we hear them?
"Not if you don't want to."
I would like to not really let on that I know that I'm hearing them.
Okay, the voices continue. "The apprentice lives, the apprentice of the brother, the fallen one, the split and lost. Found he has been. We must recover, must recover." And all of you watch as two cloudy mists begin to form directly behind Kent. And those cloudy mists begin to materialize. And the tokens don't do them justice. But this one with the red mark has red skin. This one with the yellow mark has yellow skin. And as you're not paying attention, they do begin to look like they're about to reach out to you.
Okay.
Before that happens, you watch as a third mist, this one blue, begins to materialize, its skin blue, and it pushes into the yellow one and says, "He's not yours to take."
Okay.
And I need everybody to roll initiative. Um, okay, so
Oh, where'd my ledger go? Oh, there we go.
all right. Dr. Connors, you're up first. You see three large creatures covered in cloaks. One of them is red, one of them is yellow, one of them is blue.
Do they appear to be fiends or undead? I wonder to myself.
Make an Arcana check.
All right. Oh, well, I'll
Or,
click normal,
Captain,
but yeah.
you you detect magic off of them, but you don't think that's fiendish in nature or undead.
Okay. Do I? Here, I will. Can I roll an insight to see if they mean us harm? I realize we're roll initiative, but I don't want to attack
Sure.
them if I don't think they're going to hurt us.
Sure, go ahead. Okay. So, based on what you can gauge, the red one and the yellow one look like they're out for Kent. You're not sure about the blue one. He intercepted the yellow one.
All right, fuck the red one then. I'll put Hunter's Mark on him and shoot him with my bow, unless those rolls
All
count
right.
against my bonus action.
No, those are free actions. Yeah, it's nothing like that.
What's the music that you have on, by the way? I can barely hear it.
It's something from red versus blue.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to try to find something better. All right. So
Oh, who did we
we
lose?
lost Panther. Panther, you still there?
Yeah, I clicked the link on the description of my instrument, and it took me out of game to the webpage for the spell.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll be right back.
So, all right. So your shot connects into the red one, who rears back and kind of looks at you with an angry sort of hungry face. All right.
Cool.
At the top of the order, Kent, you're up.
My initiative was 8. In case I have to be
That's still on
No, it's still there.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled high, did I?
Yes, you did.
I was supposed to have advantage on my attack roll, so I'm just going to roll again to see if I crit.
Okay.
Which I didn't. Never mind. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay. Kent is going to stand up and yell, "Slow, foul demons!" and cast slow on the 3, whatever they are.
Okay, all 3 of them?
Yeah.
All right.
And do you want me to link? I'll link.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. Wisdom save. All right, so the red one will save.
Saves.
The yellow one
Saves.
The blue one
Saves.
saves. Your spell seems like it has no effect on any of them.
Am I engaged with them yet, or no?
You're within melee range of the blue one, but it doesn't look like he's paying attention to you as much as he's paying attention to the yellow-skinned one.
All right. Well, if that is the case, and it doesn't look like, I'm going to beat feet over to here.
Okay. You do so, and he ignores you,
Okay.
only glancing in your direction passively. The yellow-skinned one fights back at the blue-skinned one and yells, "Twisted one, fallen one, split, split!" And the blue one yells back, "Silence, worm!" But the yellow-skinned one is going to swing in with a large glaive at the blue one. And he blocks the first swing, but the second backswing comes in, slashing the blue-skinned creature, for a little bit. The red-skinned creature calls out to the yellow-skinned creature, "Hold on, brother. I will grab the apprentice." And he reaches out with his hand right on top of you, Kent.
Okay.
And we'll count to 22, but let's do
Well,
it
maybe
with the description here.
maybe we shouldn't count the 22 just yet.
Okay.
I'm sure that's higher than a level whatever
It
spell.
doesn't. Okay. I'll add for your benefit that it's not going to affect you anyway because your hit points are too high.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh. Well,
So
I guess I really didn't know that though at the time, right? I mean,
yeah, well, if we can burn a counterspell, you'll get that back. So not a big deal. Okay.
all right.
So he raises it, you counterspell it, and he looks at you kind of shocked, as if he didn't expect you to be that strong. But he's then going to shift.
Okay.
Over in this direction. The blue-skinned Oni is going to not pulling any punches, reach out to the yellow-skinned one. And
do something that starts with L9 LVG US.
Let's try it this way. He's casting that on the yellow-skinned one.
Oh, Cone of Cold, nice.
Yep.
Which is something I would eventually pick up.
So that one will make a con save. Which he succeeds, however, he's still taking half damage. And I have to pull out a calculator because my math isn't that strong. For 17 damage. Alright, so the yellow-skinned one gets pelted by this cold, this cone of cold, and rears back in pain. Tuck, you're up next.
So he sees the two, or we see the two fighting each other, right? I mean, that's okay.
So I'm gonna hit the one on the bottom left there.
All right.
Since I found my character page here.
All right. Both swings come in. Now, are you running up to him as you do this, or are you just attacking him?
I'm just going to attack him from a distance.
Okay. All right. So both of those attacks will land. We'll count the first swing in there for the 8, and the second one hits in. It hits him really, really hard the side of the chin. You think he watches a gnarly, sharp tooth just flies out of his mouth. All right. Are you moving at all?
I'm thinking, yeah. And take a chance. I'm going to run up to him, hit him with an unarmed strike.
All right.
And then
connects.
Try a stunning strike on him.
All right.
Con.
All right. So he crit failed. You hit him hard across the chin and clearly stun him.
I will move back.
All right. Well, you're up next. The red one is stunned. The blue and the yellow one look like they're fighting.
I'm going to pull my rapier.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. I have to find my list of songs.
As you're looking that up, because I forgot to roll initiative for Tegan, he's actually going to go before you.
Okay.
But he will have attuned to his Hatewood staff at this point. But he is going to use an action to turn that Hatewood staff into what looks like a large two-handed sword. And he's just going to run up right next to the stunned one, and he's going to swing it twice. And, of course, that's not automatically set, because that's kind of a pain in the ass. So
because you don't know what form he's going to turn it into.
Right.
His final form.
Kameyame. All right, so it's 14 and a 16 for initiative. So we'll count the 16 as the hit, and then he's rolling 2d6 plus 2. Well, 2d6 plus his modifier, rather. So, and that's going to be plus 4 bludgeoning, or plus 4 slashing, even. All right. So he slices this Hatewood staff into the creature, and he watches black blood begins to form around the red-skinned creature. All right, sorry. So now, Will, you can go next.
Okay, that changes things a little bit because he's too close for me to throw out a shatter. Okay, here's what I'm going to do.
You can still
range. I know, but Will's going to... yeah, I guess I could just play it out of range of Tegan. So it's real quick. I'll just take a look.
What's Tegan's spellcasting ability? That's what you should be using as that modifier.
It's a 10-foot circle, so it's actually about the size of the creature. So that's cool. Will turns, jams a chord on his instrument, and boom. On the red one.
Okay. I'll check that in here in a minute. All right, so con save. He has to make a con save.
Going to use my move to back up a little bit.
Okay. He saves against the con, but he'll still take the half damage, though. 6 for 8. All right, so that's Shillelagh. For the duration, you can use your spellcasting ability instead of strength for the attack and damage rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Spellcasting ability is his spellcasting ability is wisdom.
I think
yes,
it's wisdom.
which will give it a plus. So it's 2d6 plus 4. That's its modifier.
Plus
So,
proficiency,
plus
right? Or no,
proficiency,
that's wrong.
proficiency,
That's for
proficiency,
the
not
roll.
damage.
The attack roll. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. So,
Okay, I was just making sure. Sorry.
but yeah, he's taking an additional 4 damage that I didn't calculate the first time. All right.
Does it changing to a D8 matter at all because you changed it into a sword? I don't know how that works.
He changed it to
the
a great
two
sword,
different things
which is 2d6.
interacting. Okay. Well, Chalet changes your rolls from 6s to 8s, so I wasn't sure how you wanted to do that, or however that's pronounced.
For the sake of the Hatewood staff, it transforms the weapon, so it uses the weapon's rough type as opposed to the
enhanced version of the
right,
clever quarterstaff.
Damage from a club or a quarterstaff.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, I was just making sure.
Yep. It's kind of an awkward homebrew weapon that I pulled up, so
it's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah. All right. So you cast a shatter. It lands, but it doesn't land as hard as you would hope. But it certainly affects him. All right, Snake is up next.
You said this yellow one's an asshole, right?
He seems a little crazy, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna move down here. No, well, what do I want to do? Yeah, I'll move down here. To there, I think. Yeah, that should be fine. And then I'll attack this yellow one.
All right. All right.
Damn, 11s.
It's not going to be enough to hit. It looks like he tries to reach in, but the yellow one is far too quick, far quicker than you would have anticipated.
All right.
At the top of the round is Dr. Cotters.
I'm going to try and shoot the one with my hunter's mark on it.
All right.
Oh.
You almost hit Tegan in the ear.
All right, and then my snake will try to bite the same one it just did.
Okay, that'll connect. All right. You bite hard into a weak point, or the snake bites hard into a weak point on this creature, who makes his con save. Succeeds, taking half damage. 12 piercing. Right. So 12 piercing from the snake. And then 5 is 21, so 10 points of poison damage as it courses through, and he rears out and roars in pain. All right.
Yes.
Are you moving anywhere else?
No, I'm good.
All right. Kent, you're up.
Kent's going to cast Magic Missile at level 4 at the red one.
All right. All right. So the missiles pierce hard into the hide of the creature. You watch as he's clearly rattled by all of this. He's looking pretty battered and injured.
And at that, I'm going to be staying where I'm at.
All right. All right. The yellow one looks over at the red one and cries out. Too much, not expected. We'll gather. What's wrong button?
Will, your key.
We'll gather. And he's going to reach out in Kent's general direction, and he is going to cast one of these. And you watch as a magical darkness begins to blind the area.
Except that he's not going to. Because I have one more 3rd level spell slot left. And I'm going to try to counterspell that.
All right. You can do so successfully because it's a 2nd level spell.
Mm-hmm.
So you watch as this darkness begins to develop around your area. You very quickly raise your hand, and it manages to neutralize the darkness. As it does, you watch as the blue-skinned one looks in your direction and gives you a knowing smile.
Blue skin guy's my friend.
The blue skinned guy is going to reach out at the Oni and at the yellow skinned one, and he, taking out his own glaive, is going to slice twice into him. Hitting both times.
Oh. Really?
Oh, I'm sorry, the 10 doesn't hit. The 26 will.
I was going to say, low AC, party's on, guys.
So, the first swing cuts in. He raises his own glaive to parry the second swing. All right, Tuck, you're up. He is on the turn. He shares a turn with the yellow skinned one, but he was stunned.
Gotcha.
Didn't do anything.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to run down to him and hit him. Or not.
Miss.
Hit him.
That'll miss.
Shouldn't he be getting advantage if this thing's stunned?
He should.
Oh.
So just roll all those abilities one more time. Okay, we'll count the first one because you already rolled the third. So the 16, the 23, and we're going to count the 17. But the 17 will land all the same. All right, so all three attacks go into this creature as he's stunned. And as it does, you watch as the creature before you, this red-skinned creature before you, collapses and turns into something of a red mist, which just dissipates. And the yellow-skinned one looks over at where his red-skinned brother was and looks in horror. You watch as the blue-skinned one turns and yells at the yellow-skinned one. Fall back, fool. Tegan will be next. He is going to, not wanting to miss out on the opportunity to cause unnecessarily total amounts of damage, he is going to look out at the yellow-skinned one, and he is actually going to
summon 8 Panthers. No.
No. But he is going to chuck an ice knife at him.
Oh, nice roll.
All right. And that will land into the creature for the full amount. The ice shards will pierce out. The blue one will try to shield himself from the blast. Unfortunately, does not do so as parts of the ice shard begin to pierce into his own skin.
I think yellow has to make a dex save as well, right?
He does.
He does.
That's a nasty spell.
That's the save.
It's pretty cool.
All right. So he takes the full brunt. All right. Will, you're up next. And you're muted in Discord.
Yeah. No, I got it.
Okay.
No one's terribly injured, looks like. I'm perfectly content to watch blue beat on yellow. So will stay where he is. And let's do this. Plucks a chord, an offbeat chord, just to get yellow's attention, and says, "Hey, big, tall, and yellow smoky. Don't eat the yellow smoke. Don't eat the yellow snow." I don't know. Let's try that.
I don't know.
Somehow he fails at that horrible insult.
You're too stupid to get the humor.
The horrible ones are the worst.
All right. He's clearly affected by it. All right.
That's what happens when you make intelligence a dump stat.
All right. Snake.
It's gonna bite him. Mm-hmm.
Connects. He'll make that con save.
19 points of damage.
Yep. All right. He's looking pretty haggard. Dr. Connors, you're at the top of the round.
I'm going to switch my hunter's mark onto the yellow one. Then I'm going to shoot him with my bow.
Miss. White doesn't. He'll repeat that con save. And do so. The poison is not as effective as it seems as it previously was. However, your snake is managing to bite into all sorts of weak points on this creature.
Get him!
Kent, you're up.
Kent will cast Magic Missile level 2.
All right.
At the yellow one.
All right. Oof, that's not a great roll for a level 2 magic missile. They all launch into him, and he's very clearly affected. He's looking very, very battered, very, very haggled.
Then that's basically it for me because I can't really do anything else.
All right, the yellow one will cry out in fury and look back at all of you and say, "No, the master will return. The master will return." And you watch as the form begins to shift into that of a yellow mist. And he will move. And you watch as the yellow mist begins to fly away, way off to the south. A total of 60 feet, in fact. Boop, 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 way down there.
Are we out of combat?
I guess he's got a flying speed of 10 feet, so he can't.
Oh, we are not out of combat. I'm chasing that bitch.
So he's actually only able to move maybe about there.
He only has a fly speed of 10? Oh, he's so dead. Stupid mist motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
All right. The blue one, looking up the yellow one, is going to simply step back about 10 feet and look at you to see if you finish it off. Tuck, you're up. You're muted in Discord, by the way, Garen.
Oh. I'm gonna up to this guy,
All right.
and I will hit him.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Take the normal one from both there.
All right. We'll count the 27, and we'll count the 11. All right. So as you swing in, swish, 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 you watch as the yellow mist, as you swing at it, begins to kind of dissipate and fade. You think you got him. For the time being, unless you really want to continue combat with the blue skin one.
I do.
You're out of...
I do not,
do?
but I'm not up next.
Okay.
I'm done regardless.
Okay. For now, we'll say you're out of combat. The blue skin one will stand in satisfaction for a brief second, then look in your direction, Kent, and say, "You've won a brief repose, but they will return. Be ready as you have been now."
Can I engage him in any conversation?
Before you do that, I'd like you to make a insight check.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
It's a
You're not
horrible
able to
insight.
gauge anything from the conversation.
Okay.
But if you want to try to say something to him,
why would you attack your brothers?
he shakes his head and simply says, "Should never have opened the book, fool boy. Not yet, anyway." And he begins to shift and change into his own form of blue mist.
They can only move 10 feet at a time. I'll just follow him back to wherever he's from. Yeah, I won't attack him.
He flies up
leads
into
the
the air
way.
about 30 feet, and then you watch as the mist disappears.
Aw.
That's fucking. That was funny as shit. Oh.
Yeah, he has invisibility too, jackass.
He can only move 10 feet. I'll just follow.
Yeah, he casts invisibility on himself while he's in mist form and flies.
Oh. Okay. Okay. At this, I would like to apologize to the group of, we keep running into situations that I can't necessarily control.
It's totally fine. Spread out and look for clues. You couldn't have gotten far. I'll find you.
Yeah, Will's like, wake me when it's morning.
All right.
All right. I have to bio real fast. I will be back in a minute. I'm gonna let my dog out too.
Okay.
So I will be right back.
All right. Are you doing anything other than just going to bed?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Before I go to bed, I'm casting Leomun's tiny hut over me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about fart 1 and fart 2 anymore, so I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Fart 1 and fart 2. Okay, you go back to sleep, and the rest of your night is uninterrupted. So go ahead and gain the benefits of a long rest as you take the time. And for the sake of time, we'll say you safely make your way back to the village of Red Larch without any further interruption. You arrive back in town at about midday, maybe about 1 o'clock. However, it'd be kind of hard to tell. It's not raining. The weather is not raining. However, there is a very, very nasty wind. And the sky is covered with dark clouds.
To the inn.
Okay.
We'll head right to the inn and walk in, and I will look for find the name. I have it everywhere. I write down everything. Belsamere, Blundy. No, this is before Blundy. Swinging sword in. Calissa Ertel. Right, woman in her mid-40s.
Yep.
Is she about?
As you enter into the bar, she raises a hand in your direction. She's actually standing at the bar itself. It looks like she's the inn itself at this hour is not particularly busy. It looks like she's just kind of cleaning up the bar.
Will give her a graceful bow and say, "Good, what would I call it? Good woman Ertel. Are our rooms still available to us?"
She says, "Of course."
Well, we'll be needing them for another 2 evenings. I would also plan to the 5 of us to have dinner as well. And he'll put I forget what we paid for the rooms.
She says, she raises up her hand as you're kind of debating that, and she says, "We had a few prisoners stop by not too many days ago, perhaps no more than 2 days ago, who shared an interesting tale about how you rescued them from the clutches of some evil pirates."
That sounds like us.
Quite a tale, he says in a charming way to her, leaning in conspiratorially. Says, if you would give me the pleasure of performing in your common room, I could spin a tale that would set your ears ablaze and those of your patrons.
She says, "They shared with me some rather unsettling news, but I had a niece who was a prisoner, apparently, of theirs, and I was told that she died trying to flee them and retreat back to town. But I was also told that the pirates who had kept her captive have since been dealt with, and I understand you are to thank for that."
Will drop the charming nature and turn serious and say, "I'm very sorry for your loss. And yes, we did deal with those pirates."
She says,
with a grim finality.
She says, "You're welcome to perform in my inn, but you can consider the next 2 nights on the house."
He bows again and puts his hand on hers in a comforting way. Says, "Thank you, my lady. It would be my honor and our pleasure."
She nods and thanks you again.
He does take out a gold piece and lay it on the counter and say, we have been on the road quite a bit. If you could arrange for something special for dinner for us, we would appreciate it."
Okay. She will hail one of the maids. In fact, she will hail the maid who was eyeing you when you first arrived into town. And as she hails her, I want you, Will, to go ahead and make an insight check.
Yeah, I know there's spies about. I was going to ask. So let me do that.
It's brief, but you catch a very quick scowl from her as she looks up at you. And she nods at the matriarch and retreats back into the kitchen.
Okay. Interesting. Very good. He'll wink at her.
She doesn't notice, or apparently pretends not to notice.
And there's no sense letting her know that I'm onto the game. Make her think I'm still the charming Chad. And yes, wait for Kent to eat before I dig in tonight. Okay, I'm going to rest.
Where's the cleric with purified food and drink? Damn it!
Yeah, no. Will is going to put his stuff in his room, except for his instrument. He's going to find a quiet corner of the common room and draft a letter for his masters in the. Well, he's not full-fledged.
Okay.
What's the faction?
The Lords Alliance. As you're drafting that letter, by the way, Raquel will come up and she says, "Oh, I almost forgot to mention, a letter had come by from Mr. Marin Hanover." And she delivers the letter to you. And it shares the following information. It shares that, according to reports from numerous scouts within the area, the actions that you and your and the Diamond Bears have taken within the area have significantly reduced the number of attacks along the road, as far as the scouts could tell. However, the attacks that have been occurring are much greater in force, and he warns you that while attacks along the road may be less frequent, perhaps by the cultists who are operating within the area, he warns you that it seems like they're consolidating their power a little bit, and he warns you when traveling to be cautious and be wary.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to pen a response letting him know that we've encountered 4 groups, what we consider the 4 core elemental groups within the area, and defeated them. We've retrieved the keystones. Mm-hmm. And we plan in a day or 2 to be making a journey into the temple proper, where we believe the source of these forces can be found and hopefully dealt with. We don't know how long we will be, or what lies ahead of us. But if you don't hear from us within, 30 days, send help.
Can I see you?
All right. The letter is drafted, and you hand it off to be delivered.
Say again, Kelly. I'm sorry.
They said the letter is drafted, and you hand it off to be delivered.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, and then just resting until he performs tonight.
Right now it's about midday. So whatever else you guys want to do in town, it's up to you.
Have we distributed gold in a while? I guess I don't remember the last time we did, or if I spent any recently.
We haven't.
We haven't distributed, but I did last time we were in town, which was the town to the north, Belsmere? No, not Belsmere. Belliard. We did sell all of our physical loot to convert it into coin. So we don't have a ton of physical loot to sell actually right now. We've got a trident, 5 light crossbows, 12 nautical books worth 300 gold, 20 books worth 500 gold, a lot of books, which is cool. Maybe Kent, you want to keep all those books for your library if you ever get a tower. A bunch of gems, 15, 20 gems, a ruby, 4 jaspers, and 15.
Do we still have that hammer? That was worth a lot, right?
The hammer, I don't think we still have that.
No, we do, because we didn't end up giving it to the dwarf that was leading the party out.
Slate. Yeah,
I thought we took cash instead of the hammer, didn't we?
I think you.
That's what I'm asking.
I believe you guys kept the hammer. You debated at one point giving it to the dwarven captive who was part of the Miramar expedition and kind of leading the captives out of Sacred Stone Monastery, but opted not to do so.
All right, so I'm going to make a note. In the sack is the dwarven thrower.
Correct.
How? I mean, if this isn't too much prying, I have 2,200 gold. Is that close to what you guys have? I know I've spent some on forging items, so I'm just curious if I missed out on any.
Will has. Well, Will converted most of his to platinum, so they're 10 for 1. So 23. I have 25.40.
I have 23.48.
Perfect. Okay, I was just making sure I was somewhere in the ballpark.
We're all
All right.
roughly around the 2,500 mark.
All right, cool. Hey, Killy, what's something awesome that I can buy with 2,200 gold? It's burning a hole in my pocket.
A small
What do you-
town.
What do you want to buy?
I don't know. I just want to be the best. I want to be the very best.
You're the best
Maybe-
around.
All right, so I either want to find a bow. It would be a +2 or more, or maybe give some sort of cool effect like mine currently does,
Before
or
you do that,
find something that increases my AC.
Yeah, before you do that, just so you know, if we were to liquidate and distribute at this point, you would each get an additional 935 gold pieces.
Oh, okay.
That's your equity right now in our total hoard.
Actually, I lied. I don't want to find a new bow. I want to make my bow better. Is there any way to enchant, like in World of Warcraft, you can enchant bows and whatever?
Oh, yeah. So the enchantment you have right now is that kind of frosty enchantment on it.
Oh, right. Okay.
If you were to try to enchant it, you would have to basically replace that enchantment.
Oh.
To that end, you would also have to be able to find an enchanter who would be capable of doing that, and that would take some time. And unfortunately, within a small town like Red Larch, there isn't, as far as you have been able to tell so far, an enchanter within town.
Okay. Are there any homes for sale here?
Yes.
How much we talking?
How much would the house cost?
Yeah.
Let me find it.
Who would you buy it from?
Someone here in town.
Look, I'm sure they have a Zillow. Okay.
You have to do do enough quests for the townspeople so that you become a thane, and then
Right.
you buy the house.
Dungeon Master's Guide. Where are you?
By the way,
And can you rent
can
out
you-
homes?
Yeah, I was saying in 5th Ed, could you actually have for lack of a better term, a fortress? I know in
Oh yeah.
in theory, you can. It's D&D. You can do whatever you want, regardless of whether it's in the rules or not. It's just what people are willing to allow.
I just while you guys are discussing what else you want to do, I just got to find the gold cost of what this will be. So
No problem. After you found that, I don't, by hook or by crook, I am going to comb every house in this city until I can find somebody that might have a piece of a giant octopus tentacle.
So, to your surprise, in the middle of the day, there's actually the farmers market going on down at the southeast portion of town.
Oh, the guy with the pickles!
Yeah, where the guy with the pickles was.
Um,
And there's a man from the sea who's selling some fairly exotic parts, including those parts. And if you want to buy them from him, he'll sell them to you for a total of about 10 gold pieces, let's say.
That's fine. I just want to be clear. I don't have to carry an entire giant octopus tentacle, just a piece of one.
Yes.
Because that would look kind of silly, running into combat with robes and a giant octopus tentacle and being like, this isn't hentai, don't worry.
Okay, so for the house itself, if you wanted to buy a house for everybody to fit in it, it would the houses in town would cost for all of you to fit inside of it would be about 5,000 gold.
What if I wanted to just buy one for me and then hire someone to contract it and rent it out for me?
Yeah.
Like I would pay them, they would maintain it, and then find tenants, and they would come a steady income based off of what I make off of it.
So the town itself, if you wanted to do like maybe an apartment, that would cost you about 2,000 gold, and then to hire a contractor out, that would cost a total of let's see, maintenance cost.
You're subletting a house?
That would cost
yeah.
you a total of about 5 gold a day.
What's the income on a house like that? What can I charge for rent?
It'd be up to you for as far as how you want to charge rent. The other thing to keep in mind is that if you have a tenant that ruins the place, just like in real life, then you got to pay for the maintenance cost. You can charge them a little bit of it, but
Well, I think that all depends on the contract.
Yeah. All right. I don't think I have enough overhead to start that venture quite yet. I'll look into something different. Too risky. Also, I think if we're gonna buy a guild hall for all of us to be in, this is not the town.
Yeah, the houses here are a little small, but
Right.
it would be sufficient that you could buy a sizable enough home for 5,000 gold. It's just on top of that, you would have to have a few people maintaining the hall on a regular basis, and that would cost you 5 gold a day.
Right.
Excuse me.
Okay.
You know, I would say if you have any Yuan-Ti friends, what you could do is buy the house, let them live in it, fix it up, while you're away, and then, don't charge them rent. And then when it's done, you could rent it out.
Yeah, that's possible, except I was just wanting to do something that would give me a steady income while I was gone and I could collect next time we were here. I don't know. Seems too slow though. Also, it's too costly. If anything goes wrong, I don't have enough to cover repairs, and then that whole fiasco.
Well, it's almost like shit costs a lot of money, just like in real life, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I figured it'd be a lot. I just wasn't sure how it would
Yeah, I
go.
wasn't sure what it was either, so give me an excuse to look it up. Anyway.
Let's see here. So now I need to.
Is there a set list of enchantments I can look for, or are they?
I don't think there's a set list. You just
okay.
have to come up with something and then let me know what you have in mind.
All right, I'll think about it for next time.
One small piece of tentacle. And I need to go look at what Melf's Minute Meteors requires.
Garen, are you doing anything in town?
I'm just following the guys along.
Okay.
For all your brewing skills, you certainly haven't tried to brew a whole lot of beer or anything.
I'm still drinking the
True that.
9 bottles of brandy we took from that monastery.
Oh, that's super smart. Hey, I can make health potions. What are the supplies needed for that? I'll go buy some of those and distribute to the group.
Okay. 2 alchemist supplies. Oops. Oh, come on.
I'll assuming it's affordable, I'll probably buy enough for everyone to have 2 on them.
I didn't happen to write somewhere what the alchemy supplies on your character sheet did, because I thought it had something on the detail that explained the cost.
I'll look it up. Hold on.
Here it is, alchemist supplies. I just found it. Unless your proficiency to any ability check each type of artisan, and it doesn't add it on the alchemist supplies description. So here's what we'll say for now. If you want to craft a basic healing potion, you could easily grab enough of the ingredients in town to craft a few, but it'll cost you about 50 gold to craft one in regions.
I'll give him 200 gold.
Okay. It's cheaper to buy it.
Yeah, it might just be cheaper to buy it.
No, buying is more.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then sure.
Okay. If you buy the ingredients for a total of 200 gold, that'll be enough. I need you, however, to make checks with your alchemist supplies.
So I want to try and do it 10 times, right? So I need to buy enough for.
If you're going to do it 10 times,
500 gold.
500 gold.
Right. Okay, that's fine. So that puts me at 1, 7.
And Killy.
All right, here we go.
I know he's rolling. I assume a bead of niter, sulfur, and pine tar would not be hard for me to come across in this town.
Easy to find at the blacksmith.
Give me a price. I'll deduct it from my white collar.
We'll say it's not that expensive. Let's say 2 gold.
Okay, I'll minus that out.
All right.
Earlier, were we distributing gold? And the wife came in and talked to me before she went to bed.
I think they did. I don't remember what the amount was.
I don't think anything was given out yet. He said if we wanted to, we
Yeah, we hadn't made a decision yet as to whether or
Okay.
not we wanted to do that.
Sorry.
Okay. So
We
here's how
can.
we'll
I
treat
mean,
those.
I'm fine with it if you want to.
So here's how I'll treat those checks. The DC is going to be 15. For the crit fails, for the crit success, you craft 2. For the 2 crit fails, you burn 2 uses. So
All right. Well, good luck
so
counting
we'll
that up.
lose. We'll forget the 11 and the 16. But you, as you're crafting through, you manage to, through burning through those supplies, you do manage to craft a total of 3 healing potions.
By the way, I did
Perfect.
give you 200 gold, so if you subtracted all of that gold, then add 200 years, I'll subtract 200 from
okay.
mine.
Thank you.
Because you never know what we're going to be running into next.
That being said, I'll add this. For anything above 10, you retain some of the supplies, at least half the supplies necessary to attempt to craft it. So 1, 2, 3.
I count
Okay.
4, right?
I count 1 above. Well, you burned. We'll count the 14, the 14, the 12,
In the
and
11.
3. And the 11
Right.
doesn't count because we're burning this 11 and the 16 because of those crit fails.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
So from the so you managed to craft 3. You retain enough of the ingredients that you could try to craft it one more time if you want.
Here we go. No.
Not enough. You retain it to where you can try one more time. But that'll burn all your supplies.
Yeah.
No dice.
So how many did I get?
3 total.
All right. Here you go, Kent. Distribute as needed.
I'm going to take 1 because I only have 1 on me, and then that will leave me with 2, and then I don't know what everybody else's inventory is like because obviously I have no idea what it is. So I will ask Will to hold on to the other 2, if that's cool.
Okay. Panther, did you catch that? You were muted in Discord in here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm actually figuring all that out right now.
Okay.
If for the potions of healing, if I assume all 3, if Kurt has all 3 that he just created, then the distribution right now, Tuck has 1, Tegan has 3, Kurt has 4, Will has 1, and Kent has 1.
I don't have any in my bag
Tegan
right now that I can see. Oh, I have 1 in my bag that I can see. I have 1 healing potion.
Right.
Tegan actually has 2. I think he burned 1 while you were gone.
Ah, okay.
And I'm
Yeah,
taking 1 because I gave him 200 gold.
I had 1 potion of healing and 2 superiors.
Yes, you did, and you haven't used either one of them yet.
No.
No, Tuck has 2 superior healing. Right.
Yes.
You're saying I have 4 with the 3 I just made. Duh. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I
You
understand.
had 1, now you have 4, but you're giving 2 to Kent.
Sure. And
I'll
then I
give
have
1
1
to
extra
Will.
for someone to have.
So you will have 2. So Kurt has 2.
Okay,
And
so I'm
Kent has
gotcha.
3.
Out of curiosity, before we embark on this real fast, what are our other assets still?
You want me to go through the whole list?
Not the whole list. I don't care about money. I'm talking about
No,
magical.
magic. No, I have the whole list of magical items and who has what.
I might also add for your benefit that all the magical items that you have on hand between all of you is going to be under the magic items acquired on the journal page.
Oh, that's a good point too.
We have 16 spell scrolls at present.
Right. I have a scroll of spider climb, a
Of
web,
various kinds,
and one of enlarge reduce.
Yeah, we've got protection from poison, bark skin, web, spider climb command, cure wounds, alarm, disguise self, enlarge reduce, shield, earth line, Maximilian's earth and grasp, transmute rock, dust devil, erupting earth, and flame arrows. Potions. We have Kurt has a potion of fire breath with 3 uses, 2 potions of healing, Tuck has a potion of healing and 2 potions of superior healing and a potion of hill giant strength. Tegan has 2 potions of healing and a potion of diminution. Kent has 3 potions of healing, and Will basically holds the balance of our potions in his bag. He has a bottle of antitoxin, a crystal flask with orange liquid, which is resistance to something we haven't identified yet, 2 potions of climbing, 2 potions of water breathing, a potion of invisibility, a potion of flying, a potion of healing, and that's what Will has. Now, non-scroll, non-potions, in order. This is in order of, I believe, discovery, not that it matters. Kurt, I was going to say name and item. Kurt's holding a golden ruby ring that's magic. It's cursed red skin. Tuck has a magic red apple. I don't know if we've used that. Yeah, we did use that, did we not?
Use the apple to create a potion.
So I'm going to delete that from our list.
Yes, he has enchanted apple cider, basically.
Right. Tuck has a gold diamond ring of warmth, to which he's attuned. He has the dragon tail quarterstaff, to which he's attuned. Tuck also has the Onk's cat figurine. He's not attuned to that, so he can't use it.
The cat figurine does not require attunement.
Oh, well, then Tuck has that. Tuck also has his amulet of health, to which he is attuned, and that's it. Kent has his blackish glowing staff, to which he's attuned. His wand of wonder, to which he's attuned. His ring of spell storing, to which he's attuned. And Kurt has fire and fury. He is attuned. Dragonbone longbow, he is attuned. The dragon head helmet, he is attuned. And then Kurt is also holding the +1 leather armor of swimming and the white dragon scale boots, but he can't get use of those because they're not attuned. Tegan has his +1 shield of ale conjuration, he is attuned to that. And a pure hatewood staff, he is attuned to that. Will is attuned to his rapier of singing, his glamored studded leather armor, and his instrument of the bard. Will also is holding in the bag on behalf of the party the tree qual's feather token, carved bone scroll case with that's not a magic item. The wand of entangle, which he uses from time to time, the eternal flame candle, the wand of magic missiles, the key fragment. That's not that cowhide gem satchel that I guess polishes gems that are in it. And the Dwarven Thrower, which I just added to the list. Those are our magical assets.
Okay.
We also have... Nope, that's it. That's all we have. Magical. Now for coin, we have quite a bit of gold right now in party treasure. Some electrum, some silver, a nice chunk of platinum. Our total value right now, which I have to recalculate because that can't be right. No, that is right. Our total value of coin only is 4674.5. That means each player's equity in that is 934.9 gold.
Okay.
We could distribute it now. So you tell me if you want to distribute it now. I'd have to sell the gems, and then the books, the trident, crossbows. Did we pick up any mundane treasure in the fire temple?
You picked up, I think you might have wrote these down at the last minute, but you did pick up a couple of things. Miles had picked up a pipe that Dry Flagon was smoking from, through which he summoned some smoke methods. You haven't done anything more with that pipe.
A pipe of smoke method summoning?
It's just a pipe as far as we know. So
as far as you know. Yeah. What else was there? I'll pull that up again.
Here's what I got.
There was also, and you wrote this down, I'm sure, but there was 250 gold in his desk, 2 fire opals that were worth 50 gold each, and a scroll of flame arrows.
I didn't include the gold in the fire opals, so I'll have to add those to the treasure. So if I add the 250 gold, and then you said 2 fire opals worth
50 gold apiece.
50 gold apiece, so that's another 100. So that brings us to 5,024 total value. Player equity is almost 1,000, just about 1,000 each.
All right, I don't care if we distribute now. I really don't, because one, Crow's not here, and you don't want to keep track of that and all that. But um, if we're if we're ready to go, if you guys have no more business in town, I say we head back to Toomes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Now let me ask, because you had opted to reserve the inn for 2 more nights, and as you go through doing your business, you can opt to stay the night here at the inn, which she's already given you kind of for free, and prep dinner and everything. So how many nights do you want to stick around town for?
Will would like to stay for at least one.
At least one.
Okay. So as you enter back into the inn, then the matriarch will lead you to a table and begin to prepare dinner for you. It looks to be it looks to be a fairly well made and very fresh smelling, actually cooked duck. And it's covered with a particularly tasty looking sauce. The sides include what looks to be maybe some mashed potatoes, as well as some dipping sauce that you think might be made from some of the local berries, as well as a bread that's popular within the areas that's mixed in with some of the berries that they grow around the area. There is fresh ale that is brought before you.
Wonderful.
And she leaves you. Do you all dig in?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Okay.
I've never been tricked by my DM before.
Okay. Make con saving throws for me.
I'm open. I'm
God
open to
damn
it. Boom.
All right. Those of you who got 12 or lower, and actually, Tuck, I need you to make your con save, but make yours with advantage because you have a history in drinking, and you got a pretty tough liver. Okay. So those of you who got less than a 13, which at this count is Kent, as well as Tegan for that matter, begin to feel really, really sick.
Okay.
And
Okay. Like poison sick?
well, you're not sure. You spend the better part of the evening, or you feel like you have to spend the better part of the evening, standing outside or by the privy or something, just retching.
Well, at least my good friend Tegan's with me.
Okay. If that's what you're doing, you gain the benefits of a long rest. However,
Mm-hmm.
Kent and Tegan both are going to suffer from 1 level of exhaustion, which gives you disadvantage on all ability checks so long as you're exhausted.
Okay.
And the next morning, you don't feel like you rested well at all. You feel sick, as does Tegan.
If you guys are up to it, I suggest we stay another night. I want to find out the woman, the serving girl, who I thought was potentially an agent. I'd
So
like to.
Here's the funny story about that. As you enter downstairs to breakfast and ask after her, Kalisa will inform you that that woman, whose name is Galita, has not shown up this morning.
Where was she staying?
She says she was staying in a servant's quarters within the inn. We haven't been able to find her.
May I see where her spot in the servants' quarters was?
Would it be fair to say that if we've already talked to Will real fast and we're going to spend another night, I'm just going to go back to the room and kind of crash out.
Okay. You're resting then. So as she leads you to where she was staying, she leads you into a fairly simple looking room. It looks like it has been the place. It looks like it's kind of trashed. It's not dirty per se, but shelves have been pulled out of the nearby drawers, and it looks like everything's just gone.
I'm still going to search the room thoroughly to see if maybe we can pick up a clue.
Make a perception check. Okay.
I'll if you'll allow me to bardic inspire that, I will.
Here's what I'll say. Nothing stands out to you immediately, but as you thoroughly search the room, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Now you should say you're going to use bardic inspiration before you do that.
Yeah, now's the time.
Oh, all right. I'll spend a bardic inspiration on that roll. And my bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Within this room, there's a small hearth, and you begin to move around the now long since diminished embers that make up the area of this hearth. And as you move around, you do find the small but burned remains of what appears to be some sort of letter. And the only words you can make out upon it are spies, Lord's Alliance, poison, stop, back. And you make out a name at the bottom of this burnt letter. It is signed, as soon as I can find it.
Sir Bradford. No.
No. It is signed Gar Shatterkeel.
Is that a name I should know?
You're not there.
Is that a name he should know?
You've never heard of it.
Do I know who that is?
Nope.
Okay. Well.
Okay then. Should we ask around? See if any. No, I'm not there. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think he's from around here. If I had to guess. But it's a good question. Since we're going to spend the extra day, is there like a, I don't know, for lack of a better term, a town records or someplace where the history of,
Is there a mayor?
Someplace where there's history that I can look up a person's name.
There is a. Let's see. There's a small building that kind of serves as there's not a mayor's office per se. The mayor is just another. There's not actually a mayor's office here. The town itself is led by a town council, which is made up of most of the business figureheads that operate the different significant businesses within town. If there's any records within the place, it's probably at the shrine.
Well, got nothing better to do. I'll spend the day at the shrine looking for records or talking to people.
Mm-hmm. The shrine itself is right next to the inn, actually.
Yeah, I'll be talking to people in the inn, just basically, seeing if I can find out anything or anyone who knows who this might be.
Okay.
I won't tell them why. I won't show them the note.
Okay. Now, while this is going on, Tegan and Kent are more or less incapacitated within the inn and trying to rest. Dr. Connors and Tuck, what about the two of you? Are you following him around?
Well, I am a doctor, so I'll try to see what the fuck is wrong with these two pussies. Can't even keep their food down. Come on.
Make a medicine check.
Ooh, medicine check. Am I any good at that? Turns out, probably not. 13.
Okay. You peering around at them, it's very clearly obvious that they're poisoned.
Okay.
They've been poisoned. What kind of poison, you're not able to discern, at least not right away.
We have a bottle of antitoxin.
We do.
I don't know if we can split it, but you could probably brew another one.
I can try. What does that entail?
What are you going to try to do? Split the bottle of antitoxin or?
No, to brew another one.
Brew
to
one more.
recreate
Yeah,
it.
so we have two.
Okay. If you're going to try to brew antitoxin using your alchemy supplies, it'll cost you 100 gold worth of material.
For my friends, I'll do it.
Okay. Make a check with your alchemy supplies then.
Can I just throw something out there? Because Krow's not
Done.
here. Real fast.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Crow can cast lesser restoration on himself.
Oh, yeah. Why don't we just do that?
That's a good point.
Or me too, if you
Or
gets
both?
right
Yeah.
down to it.
So as you remind him, Tegan goes, "Fuck! I wish I knew that last night." And he utters the words and clears himself easily.
I'm going to
And
not brew that potion then.
he does so. Okay, and then he'll burn his other lesser restoration. And Kent, you're up on your feet again.
All right, that works for me. What the hell was in those nachos?
That being said, the both of you are still very much exhausted.
Going back to sleep.
Okay. Now, Will, as you're asking around town, all that anybody can tell you is that she signed up to be a maid at the inn not more than a few months ago, and in fact, it was maybe about 3 or 4 months before all this weird shit with the weather began. And as you're looking at the records, all it mentions is this woman by the name of Galita, who had just started working at the inn. It doesn't say anything else about her.
All right. I figured it might be a long shot, but it's okay. I'll tuck it away.
Okay. So you guys just staying at the inn one more night?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Fortunately, you managed to have a much better rest, and the second night goes without incident. You lose that point of exhaustion, the both of you do, and you're feeling much better than you did. And all this time, Kalisa shares that her maid has suddenly disappeared on her, and she's clearly frustrated, and she apologizes profusely that the two of you got sick while under her care.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I make sure she understands that we don't hold her responsible for what happened, and we just appreciate her discretion in the matter.
Okay. And on the second day here, by the way, the 2 days that you spent here in town, first off, arriving into town when you did, the sky was already kind of dark and dreary. And there was a strong wind. Over the course of the last couple of days, that wind has just been getting stronger, and the skies have just been getting darker.
Just out of curiosity, did the serving girl look at all like the bitch whose loot we stole? Maybe she was a little bit disguised.
No.
Oh, all right.
It's
Those are wild
at
guys.
the very least, if it was a very, very clever disguise, possibly magical. But as far as you could tell, no. I mean, there wasn't an immediate look-alike. If that were true, she was using a particularly well-skilled disguise self spell or something. And given what you know about Boyance was her name, she's a water genasi, blue skin, white hair. In order for her to maintain that appearance of just a human serving girl for months would either be very clever
Oh, months. I missed that. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm no meteorologist, so this weather doesn't faze me.
Okay. So it's the end of the second day in town. It's the dawn of a new day, I should say. What are you guys doing?
Head for that tower.
The hills.
All right. Okay. So you begin to make your way towards Feathergale Spire.
Feathergale, yeah.
All right. So as you get closer and closer to Feathergale Spire itself, you can't help but notice that the wind is getting that much stronger and the skies are beginning to get that much darker. And as you begin to arrive within the valley itself, you can't help but notice that the wind and the clouds are beginning to kind of swarm around the spire itself. And there are actually you watch as bits of lightning begin to strike around the valley itself. As you begin to approach the tower, you can peer down into the familiar looking valley and watch as streaks of lightning every once in a while begin to strike down, and you watch chunks of rocks hundreds of miles not hundreds of feet, I should say, away from you, just begin to kind of splinter as this lightning strikes all around you. It doesn't look like it's striking the tower itself, though. It's all around the tower.
Well, I know that they had said that the weather was a sign of whatever badness is going on. But if it's keeping away from the tower, maybe it's they're doing it. The tower is the source, and they're doing it as a defensive measure. Who knows? Let's get there and find out.
I'm for that.
Okay. You arrive at the spire itself, lightning and thunder crackling around you. The wind is very, very strong. It was already strong here before when you first visited. It is overwhelmingly strong. It's almost picking you up off your feet. And the wagon which you're riding on, the horses clearly are not a fan.
Huh. We ride right up to the gate, and is there a
Hustle in.
guard, or do we need to bang on the door? Or?
There doesn't appear to be any guard. The portcullis or the gate itself is down. The door is closed, though.
Will go up to the. Is there a sally port on the gate?
Yes.
All right, he'll bang on that.
No response.
Is it open?
It looks like it might be.
He'll try it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You open it up, and you can enter inside this room if you wish.
Yeah, he will.
Okay. Inside the room, you see there are two, what appear to be Aarakocra. However, one of them looks like it's a statue, and it's frozen in fear. The other one looks like it's just withered and died. There's little more than just a rotting corpse.
Oh boy. All right, let's get in. Let's bring the wagon in here.
Okay, done.
And the horses so that they're safe, and close up the door.
Bring the wagon and the horses in here safe, where there's two corpses in front of us.
Yeah, no, I know, but you know what I'm saying.
I know. I'm just giving you shit.
I'm gonna head upstairs to that level where the table was.
Okay. Are you following him, the rest of you?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hurry on up there because
I
in
wanna know what's going on.
case. What do I see when I go through the doors?
So first off, the curtains that are surrounding the windows are flapping furiously, and you hear the whistling of wind as it circles around the tower. But at the very top, you see you see one pile of dust gathered in one corner of the room. Next to that pile of dust, you see lying on the ground, it looks not moving, is what appears to be another Aarakocra corpse.
Is it alive?
Corpse, he said.
Corpse.
Oh, corpse.
Not alive. Just straight up dead.
Dang.
It's a bloody, broken mess on the floor.
This is not how I envisioned this going.
No, I know, me either. The access to the temple, I believe, was on the top floor, which he's conveniently blacked out again.
I don't think actually the access to the temple was on the top floor. Toomes knew where the temple entrance was.
Yeah, and you haven't been able to find any hide nor hair of him.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet, anyway.
We're in this room here?
Yes.
I'm gonna open this door right here that I'm standing next to.
I'm sorry. Yeah, there's nothing.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right, so let's.
Wait, hold on. Before we do anything, I just want to look in the rooms, these 4 rooms right here, and do I still see wingsuits in these rooms?
You would have to peer through the chests and everything to see if you can find them. But if you wish, I can tell you that in each there are 2 chests in each of those rooms, and in each chest there are freshly made wingsuits in each of them.
Okay. All right, so there's a total of 8.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So I'm really
Let's,
concerned at this point that my
Let's take
my
5
girlfriend
of them.
might be dead.
Take 5 of the wingsuits.
You're going to take the wingsuits, you said?
Take 5 of them. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll never know when this can come in handy. Wingsuits.
Let me see if that's in my magic items here.
And I don't consider us looting these so much as it looks like a bad thing has happened here, and you know, at the very least, I wouldn't want these to fall into people's hands that they really don't belong to.
Right. All right. Let's search the tower. Let's go down.
Oh, you don't want to go up first?
No, because I mean, we can go up first if you want. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, that's where the personal quarters really were.
Yeah. Well, all right. So if you want, we can check that next level up.
Yep.
And check those 4 rooms, Kelly.
Okay. At the moment, there doesn't appear to be anything there. However, you can continue to hear the wind whistling around the rooms, and it looks like that there has been some sort of scuffle here, but you don't see any bodies.
When you say some sort of scuffle, what is giving us the impression that there is a scuffle?
Streaks, black streaks along the floor, and splattering of blood in certain areas.
By looking around, can I get any kind of impression, like kind of what happened, or no? Just the general.
Make an investigation check. Looking around the room, it looks like it's 2 individuals who fought. Based on the scrape marks, it looks like something metal has been scraping the floor. What kind of thing, you're not quite sure. Alternatively, you also see a few feathers strewn about. Looks like feathers that might have been off of Dr. Toomes' own personal wingsuit.
No.
All right. So what do you guys want to do? Go all the way to the basement, or you want to check out the top floor?
I want to look around where those feathers came from and see if I see any clues.
There is drops of blood that continue upstairs.
All right, let's go upstairs.
All right. Are you all making your way upstairs to the top floor?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say yes, I will, but only if my intrepid monk is going first.
Yeah, no. Let's go upstairs. Yeah, let's check out the top floor.
Yeah,
let's
sorry, I was muted.
Let's we'll stress being cautious that we don't get blown off of the roof.
So
make sure you're holding on to something as we go up.
So you steady yourselves along the staircase as you head up. The wind here, surprisingly, is not as strong as you would expect. It's almost as if the tower itself is the eye of a hurricane. And as you enter to the very, very top, you see, first off, a battered, broken, beaten Dr. Toomes with labored breathing sitting to your side. In front of you, you see a figure who looks back at you and in a familiar voice utters, "Ah, so the rumors were true. You survived the dragon after all."
Motherfucker.
See,
Grab yourselves to the top there somewhere.
And you guys, were pissed off I attacked him.
At the time, yes.
And as you stare at him, Dr. Connors, something you can't help but note. Normally, when you've seen him before, the metallic arms that he would have strapped to his back were something of a tarnished-looking steel, perhaps a crude mixture of steel and iron. That seems to no longer be the case. The metallic arms on his back look like they're made out of a new mithril. And you can't help but notice interwoven in some of those arms is what appears to be adamantium wire.
Okay, who gave him the book?
We all did.
Did we?
Don't you remember? Yeah, we talked about it.
Well, we
gave him pieces of it.
Yeah, not anything that should have resulted in him having that.
Kagan's looking around at all of you, completely confused as to what's going on. Dr. Otto Octavius will turn around looking at you, Dr. Connors, and he says, "You have come at a most momentous of time. I have within my hands the power of fate itself." And he holds up in one of his metallic claws what appears to be some sort of orb. Peering at the orb itself, you can see swirling winds within the orb. There is clearly a large crackle of power as he holds it out in front of you. And he says, "I offer you a choice, my compatriot. The power of the very fates rests within mine hands. I know you seek for a way to return to your normal human self. I may yet be able to grant that for you." And you hear heavy labored breathing from Dr. Toomes who says, "He means to destroy the valley."
I'm doing a lot of processing right now. What the fuck? All right, so I'm gonna definitely use some cure wounds on Dr. Toomes here.
Okay. Let's go ahead and burn a cure wounds.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want him to be labor breathing anymore.
Okay. It clearly stabilizes him, but he's not getting up.
Right. Fuck.
He's not in risk of dying, we'll say.
Right. Okay. Right. I'm gonna have to ask that you explain yourself, Dr. Octavius.
He says, "The power of the very fates themselves rests within the orb in mine hands."
Yeah, that's what you said, but you're not really telling me how this would even affect me, how it would bring my body back, or perhaps why you are summoning this gigantic storm, or why you've hurt Dr. Toomes here.
He wasn't severe. And you watch Dr. Toomes very casually just raises a middle finger in his direction. And Dr. Octopus, ignoring him, looks at you and says, "Within this orb contains the power of the fates themselves. Now, answer me this, Dr. Connors. Was it fate that decreed you become the creature that you are? What if you could change back the clock? Change an instant. Change the past."
I'm not looking to time travel into the past, or else I would have never met these great people I now call my friends and family. I just want to recover the body I lost, but not necessarily change history.
He says, "You misunderstand. This orb does not allow you to travel through time. The orb, the power of fate, allows you to change circumstance." And Dr. Toomes, with a little less labored breathing, says, "He means to use that orb to destroy the valley as a test and revenge against me." Dr. Ock reaches out with one of his metallic claws will move closer to Dr. Toomes as he's holding this orb out to you, and he will strike out with one of his metallic claws against him.
No! Can I jump in the way? Try to take the blow?
Make a dexterity check.
Check or save?
Save, sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine. Oh, fuck me.
Okay, not quick enough.
All right.
He reaches out with the claw. It badly injures Dr. Toomes, and he falls unconscious.
Perfect.
But Doc Ock will lay the orb out in your direction again, and he says, looking clearly at you with the orb, and he's actually going to hold it out to his side, off to his left, your right, and he says, "This tower, the very valley itself, is a small price to pay for what it is you wish to acquire, no?"
The cost of other people's livelihoods, lives and both where they live, it's too great a cost for just me getting my body back. Of course I want it, but not like this. I'm gonna try and drag Toomes back away from him.
Okay, you get him to about here, Doc Ock will cry out in a grunt of frustration, and he says, "You are short-sighted." and he begins to raise the orb. As he does, however, all of you are shocked and surprised as what appears to be a Black Panther just leaps up and grabs the orb straight out of Doc Ock's hands. It runs back around towards the staircase behind you. And as it does, you watch as it runs up next to a figure who you did not see run up the steps behind you. It appears to be some sort of ranger. He's cloaked in a green hood. You can't help but notice he has dark skin and white hair. In both of his hands are two scimitars.
Jesus Christ.
And he says, "Nicely grabbed, Guinevere."
God damn it.
Doc Ock cries back, "I've had enough of Driders and Drow and those who deal with spiders!" And I need everybody to roll initiative.
By the way, Ranger, you're about to see how a real Ranger plays. Holy shit. Oh.
I am not worthy. What is this fucking roll shittiest rolls ever night, Miles? Come on.
Have we met this ranger?
No.
If
Okay.
you've ever read any of the Drizzt books, that's who he is. He's a character in a D&D book series.
He is
Oh.
God Ranger of the Dark Elves, basically.
Great.
All right.
By the way,
Beginning
wait,
goes on our
wait, real fast. Just as a out of game thing, don't attack that Ranger.
All right. So, first things first. All right. All right. At the top of the round, we are starting with Mr. Tuck.
I'm going to run to here. Is this cover, by the way, these fire thingies?
You mean, are you talking about the little
Yeah.
half circular pillars?
Yeah.
They're like little walls at the top of the thing.
Yeah.
How tall?
They are. Let's find out.
If the book actually has how tall they are, I will be amazed.
I think it might. Let me check. I have the wrong chapter.
Usually, obvious points of cover are given heights and stuff.
Right. So, windows. It is about. They're about 3 feet, not super tall. Enough that you can kind of
Enough
guard
to
yourself
trip
against
over.
the wind.
Fuck it. I'm going to go right up to him.
All right.
I'm going to hit him once.
All right. Does not
Twice.
connect. He raises one of his metallic arms. He
Oh,
raises
fuck.
another one of his metallic arms and blocks both strikes. Blocks that one too.
Jesus. Fuck. Okay.
All right. Are you done?
Yeah.
All right. At the end of your turn, Doc Ock is going to burn one of his legendary actions. He's going to raise one of his arms and he's going to fire a death ray in your direction. I need you to make a dex save.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Or take 18. Oh,
You're fine. You take no damage whatsoever.
Holy fuck.
All right. Mr. Will.
Mr. Will is going to cast a spell. He's going to cast that on his harness, his arm harness.
That's heat metal, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, first off, the spell does hit. However, as he begins to burn away at his metal, he says, "Oh, I'm aware of your trick spot." Activates the ADDS. And you watch as tiny little
Jesus Christ.
areas move around his arms, and some sort of foam begins to spray around the arms. there is an effect that the metal has. However, it seems like the actual heated metal doesn't stay.
He's like, I learned the adapted, bitch. Holy-
All right, I will move. That's fine. It's all good. I'm going to move to put the stairs between myself and him.
Okay.
I'm actually going to try to take some cover behind this wall.
All right.
Hoping that the new. Well, look, he's right now. That ranger and his cat are allies against a common foe.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he doesn't look at me that way.
All right. At the end of your turn, he's going to attempt to fire.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. He's going to attempt to fire a ray at that ranger. This ray is going to be a sleep ray.
Tickle ray. Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, Drizzt is an elf, can't sleep, so it has no effect. Kent, you're up.
Well, I already just rolled what I was going to cast at him, and
Okay.
I am still terrible at drawing shapes, but hold on.
How big is? I'll do it. How big a
20 foot
area?
square around him.
20 foot.
Yep.
Around him, and obviously not getting
Not Garen.
Tuck. So a 20-foot square would be like this. Well, 20 feet actually would be something like this.
Okay.
If we don't want to get anyone in the party.
All right.
Yep, that's fine.
We'll call that good. Its tentacles, blah, blah, blah. Just the effect duration when turn starts its turn there. Okay. So black inky tentacles begin to form around that area with Doc Ock looking back at you when he says, look at me. Do you think tentacles scare me?
I would say they should.
All right. Are you making any additional movement?
Yeah, I'm ducking behind this wall.
Okay. He will use his last legendary action, and he's going to fire.
Will's like, dude, find your own wall.
He's going to fire again at Drizzt. This one's going to be the Ageification Ray.
Interesting. You're gonna age an elf.
Yeah. So, Drizzt will make that wisdom save. He has advantage on it. And okay, saves, has no effect on him. All right, Tegan, seeing an opportunity, is going to Black Panther this ship.
He can do bigger animals too. I mean, you don't have
Yeah, you know what? In the sake of, in order to,
so
give
you don't
myself
have
some
to.
sanity.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tiger. What's the challenge rating? Tiger challenge 1. How much of those can he summon? Challenge rating 1 or lower. Let's do 2 tigers instead.
Jesus Christ.
Big tigers.
Apparently.
Actually, they're not supposed to be that big. Okay. He summons 2 tigers. We'll do it outside of the range here, but close enough to where they can hit Doc Ock. And they have to roll their initiative. And I have to start some music up again because it stopped. 3, great, okay. So that's done. And then, can he do Shillelagh as a bonus action? Yes, he can. He'll cast Shillelagh as a bonus action. So he's got that active. He's going to turn that into a scimitar, and he's going to equip his shield, and then he is going to duck right around here next to Drizzt. Drizzt, with 2 scimitars drawn.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Twinkle.
Is going to charge right up next to him. 5, 10, 15, 20. He's actually going to jump right on top of one of the tigers. And he's not riding it, he's just standing on top of it.
Because he's nimble like that. I believe it.
Yep, pretty much.
We could have had a piece of floss out there and he'd have been able to land on it.
He is going to swing twice with Icing Death and once with Twinkle. The first swing with Icing Death will connect. As it does, It cuts hard into Dr. Octavius with hard freezing damage. He will swing in with Twinkle. That will miss. Doc Ock manages to parry that one. He'll swing in a third time with Icing Death, and that will cut in. So Icing Death cuts in twice.
It's a stupid fucking weapon.
13, 14,
Yeah.
15,
Jesus
17,
Christ!
27, 28, 29, 30, 31 points of damage overall. And you watch as this glowing magical energy kind of seems like it's protecting him a little bit. And just double checking. Yeah, okay. All right, I think that's all good to go. All right, so he's done with his turn. All right, Snack is up next.
Oh, Snake is mad, and she is gonna fight this motherfucker. Ooh, take it, bitch!
You get a really Big Snake gets a really, really good strike against him. So he will make his con save, which he succeeds, so he'll take half damage. But you manage to bite in hard into him.
I think it was 23.
18, 9. Yep. All right. He is already looking like he's taken quite a few hits. All right. Are you done?
Yeah.
All right. Doc Ock is going to raise up all of his arms, and he is actually going to shift around. Well, first off, before he does that, he's going to fire his 3 rays. He's going to fire once at Drizzt, once at Tuck, and once at one of the tigers. We'll start with the tiger. That first one at the tiger is going to be the Agification Ray. So, tiger will make that wisdom save, which he fails. So the tiger is frightened. And we'll do that, I guess, for this mark. All right. The ray he'll fire at Tuck will also be the Agification Ray. I need you to make a wisdom save, Tuck.
While you're doing that, I think that he needs to make a dex save, right? Or take 3d6 bludgeoning damage from the tentacles.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
Actually, no,
Tuck.
he doesn't need to make a dex save.
I think he just takes the damage. Link that ability for me one more time.
Sure, but it's not a dex save, it's an actual dex check. Or strength.
It says,
Hold on.
starts their turn there, the creature must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. or
Oh,
take
my bad.
3d6 bludgeoning
Starts
damage.
their turn. My bad.
Okay, and you rolled a 12 on that first one, so we'll count that for the damage. So we'll count that. So dex save or take 3d6 bludgeoning and be restrained. So yes,
Yeah.
okay. We'll count the 12 damage if he fails. So dex save succeeds, but he takes half damage.
Damn.
No. No. Okay, he takes no damage.
Okay.
Okay, takes no damage and is not restrained. All right, so Tiger succeeds, Tuck succeeds. The third ray he'll fire is going to be at Drizzt. And this one is going to be the Petrification Ray. So Drizzt will need to make a dex save and easily succeed. Doc Ock, being thoroughly aggravated, is going to shift out of this around towards Drizzt. As he does, the tiger's going to make an attack of opportunity. No, he can't because he's feared. Tuck, go ahead and make an attack of opportunity. Nope.
What the fuck?
You whack Tegan's tiger on the back. It doesn't do any damage, but it just kind of upsets him. All right, and that's going to be all he does for his turn. Dr. Cotters.
Yeah, not to be outdone by my ranger counterpart. I want to try and do some damage to this bitch, so I'm going to do Hunter's Mark.
Done.
Of course. And then I'm going to attack him with my bow with the cold damage and a piercing arrow.
All right.
Hopefully this hits. Wish me luck.
Nope.
Oh, bullshit. All right.
This is
Well, I tried all I could do.
one more thing I forgot. Your snake will get an attack of opportunity as he shifts around as well.
Oh, nice. All right, let me attack.
Misses. He manages to move just in time before the snake manages to get that strike off.
Of course. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Winabar with the orb in hand is going to retreat his way back over to Will and look up at you with the orb in his mouth. The tigers will go next. This one being feared is going to retreat back over towards Dr. No, I take that back. He's going to retreat back over towards Tegan. And he'll repeat that wisdom save at the end of his turn. Which he succeeds. So the tiger there is no longer feared. The one that Drizzt is on top is going to attack Doc Ock with a bite. And he misses. Doc Ock manages to block that hit. At the top of the round, by the way, the lightning surrounding the tower looks like it's beginning to get a little bit closer. But Tuck, you're up at the top of the round.
I'm going to swing around here to get range of them again.
Remember that the tentacles are still there, being focused on by Will.
Can't.
No.
Or Kent, sorry.
Can't. Fuck.
Well, I can't end them till my turn.
Did the other tiger attack?
Fuck it. I'm going to go around
Yes.
this side then. I can just go around this way.
Sure. You can leap over. It's only 3 feet, so you can leap over this wall. So.
And attack him.
Miss.
Attack him.
That will hit.
And attack him.
All right. That will hit as well.
And stunning strike.
All right. Con save, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
Succeeds.
Yep.
All right. You end your turn?
Yep.
All right. At the end of your turn, he's going to look in your direction. He's going to fire. He's going to fire an enervation ray against you. I need you to make a con save. And he shuts back. I show you a con save. Okay, so you take half damage. All right, you're taking 18 necrotic as this ray engulfs you. No, you're not, because you. Well, I guess it's not AoE. It's
not
attack.
dex.
So you're still taking half damage. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So this necrotic energy begins to engulf you a little bit. You feel a little sickly by it. All right. Will, you're up. One of ours is next to you with this orb in hand and mouth.
I kind of get down low and say, well, Mom did tell me never to look a gift cat in the mouth. And I'll hold out my hand so he could drop the orb into it.
He does so.
Wow. So what happens when I grab the orb? Anything?
You feel a tremendous surge of power at your fingertips.
Okay. Crouched down, I'm going to make the assumption that this orb is the source of the storm. And I'm going to try to lessen the storm. I'm going to concentrate on the orb, and I'm going to try to lessen the storm or end the storm.
Okay. I need you then to make an Arcana check.
Not my greatest thing, but I'm going to say in advance I'm going to Bardic Inspiration that.
Sure. All right. Feel free to add your D8 if you wish.
All right.
All right. The storm, it doesn't stop, but it looks like the advance it had towards the tower has stopped for the time being.
Okay. So it's stopped getting worse, but it hasn't gotten any better.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's a positive step.
All right.
If you'll allow a bonus action.
Your bonus action for Bardic Inspiration.
Okay, done.
Okay. So at the end of your turn, assuming that you're all done then?
Yeah, I'm not moving.
Okay. Seeing the orb now in your possession, Dr. Octavius is going to...
Well, does he have line of sight on me? I'm crouched behind the wall.
Oh, in that case, no. He is going to... You know what? He's going to fire at Dr. Connors. This one's going to be a paralysis ray. Dr. Connors, I need to make a con save for me, please.
Piece of shit. 1 second. Should I just listen to you guys?
You are paralyzed. as this ray engulfs you. You can repeat that save at the end of your turns, each of your turns. Kent, you are up.
Oh, he's getting a slow right in the face.
All right.
I already had it. Why did I jump off the page? Pow.
Okay. Wisdom save.
Yes.
What's your DC?
Ties it.
Ties it, then he succeeds. He takes off the spell. He looks at you, kind of frustrated. Are you done?
If I can duck back down behind the wall, I'd like to.
Sure. All right. At the end of your turn, he's going to spend his last legendary action firing a beam. This one's going to be at Drizzt. And this one, based on the die roll, is going to be a paralysis ray at Drizzt.
Speaking of paralysis rays, I have magic resistant. Can I roll again?
You may certainly do so.
Yay. Fuck me.
And unfortunately, Drizzt is paralyzed too.
Wow.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Actually, he has advantage himself, so he'll get to repeat that throw now that I look at it. All right, he's fine.
Oh.
Because he's Drizzt, of course he is. Okay,
He's got
Tegan.
He's got like 3 advantages.
Yep. All right. So Tegan has a momentary spark of brilliance, and he's going to target Mr. What's his face there? And Octavius. And this spell isn't linking. Why are you not linking? Anyway, he's casting Elemental Bane, and he's choosing. He's going to choose Thunder type, and basically what that means is choose one creature you can see within range. Choose Thunder. Target must succeed on a con save or be affected by the spell for the duration. This is concentration. Or no, he can't do that because he's concentrating on animals, so he can't do that anyway. Never mind.
Oh, real fast, I would have dropped the concentration. I don't know if that requires an action or a bonus action for the Evard's Black Tentacles.
I think you're just allowed to drop it.
You just let it drop if you want to drop concentration.
Yeah, that's going then.
Okay, so he can't do that. All right, so what he's going to do instead is he's going to go ahead and cast Ice Knife, I think, and
Don't do it.
It's going to splash into other people. I take that back.
Thorn Whip.
Yeah, looking like it's going to be Thorn Whip. So
Holy shit! He rolled
30
nice.
feet. Yeah, he's close enough. All right, so he leashes out the Thorn Whip. It does wrap around Dr. Octavius, grasping him. And it kind of, unfortunately, he's next to the wall, so he can't pull him any closer. But he gets the Thorn Whip out and gets one clip. And then Tegan's going to retreat behind this wall. Drizzt will follow through, keeping his scimitars drawn. He's going to follow through with 3 more swings. This time around, that's going to be the same thing. So 2 swings with Icing Death, 1 swing with Twinkle. First swing with Icing Death will hit. The second swing with Twinkle will miss. The third swing with Icing Death will hit.
The fuck?
15, 25 points of damage. And it cuts hard into Doc Ock. Snake is next.
Snake is mad. Snake angry. Snake's gonna roll up right next to him. Can I bite him over this wall, or do I need to go on a different side?
No, you can slither around, we'll say.
All right, cool.
He's a snake. He's got length.
All right. So, the bite will connect, and Doc Ock will make his con save. Failing.
Like 23 points of damage, bitch.
You bite hard into him. Doc Ock reels back. Satan voice. And then, if you're done, it's going to be his turn next.
Yeah, sure.
He's going to lean over, and he's actually going to fire all 3 rays at the snake.
Fuck this guy.
The first of those rays is going to be a disintegration ray. I need Snake to make a dex save.
Oh.
God damn
No
it.
dice. Unfortunately,
He just disintegrated your snake.
By
your snake
one
is
hit point.
disintegrated.
It's fucking dead.
Your snake turns into a pile of ash. You can refill
Oh,
it.
I'm gonna
at
stab
lower
this guy in
cost.
the fucking eye.
Taking his other 2 rays, he's going to fire, since that one did the trick, fire one at Drizzt and one at Tuck. The one against Drizzt is going to be, if I can open up the page correctly here, it's going to be a petrification ray. So Drizzt will make that dex save. Oh, you know what? Before I forget, before we get rid of that snake, your snake, I believe you gained an advantage where on all saving throws.
Oh
your
yeah,
snake
he gets it because I'm 7th level.
Yes, so go ahead and make one more dex save with the snake.
Hey,
He succeeds. Your snake is not turned to ash.
Now he's going to
that
be
was a
turned to
close
ash.
call.
In fact, it takes no damage at all. Your snake narrowly dodges the disintegration beam. And in that case, he's going to fire that ray against, he's going to fire the petrification ray against the snake then, because the snake's not gone, like I said before. So, go ahead and make another dex save with the snake with advantage.
He got it.
Okay. The third ray is going to be, this one's an enervation ray. I need your snake to make a con save with advantage. And this will do half damage if it succeeds. Okay, so. Come on. 68. All right, half damage. So your snake takes 20 points of necrotic damage. And he's done for his, he's done for his turn for the time being, but he's very badly, he's looking, he's seen better days. He's taken quite a bit of damage even within this short period of time. Dr. Connors, you are stunned. You can't do anything for this turn. Go ahead and repeat the save at the end of your turn. No dice. You're still
Fuck
stunned.
me.
Guinevere will look up at you, Will, and with the most intelligent look you've ever seen an animal give, will, you think, smile at you. But he's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She, sorry, will move right up next to her master, and she will attempt to pounce on top of Dr. Octavius. And that'll hit. So Dr. Octavius will make that strength save, which I don't think he's particularly good at. No, he's not.
He's not.
And you watch as Guinevere manages to cause this multi-legged creature to fall prone with this large panther now on top of him. And she will follow through. I think she can do this. Make one bite. Yes. She will, as a bonus action, bite it. Hitting. All right. This panther just tears into Dr. Octavius. The tigers will follow through, not wanting to miss out on the action. They're going to swing through. The other one's still underneath Drizzt, and they're going to bite at Doc Ock themselves. They'll have advantage because he's prone. All right, one will miss. The other one will not. One of them will bite very, very hard into it when you hear him cry out in pain. 9! At the top of the round, the wind is still howling, but it does not move any
It was
closer.
15, not 9.
With advantage.
Oh, I get it.
Tuck, you're up next.
He said 9.
He is chumming.
Can I hit him?
All right.
Hit him.
All right, he's prone, so we'll count that as the first one, and that has advantage. So the 27 will hit. You bonk him across the head. All right, you swing in with the follow-through and hit hard. With all these animals on top of him, you're just swinging in hard. All right, you're not able to get in through the strike. You're not able to find a safe spot to get the arm in.
I'm going to try and push him back.
Well, he's not prone, but
If I push him back, wouldn't that cause attack of opportunity for those 4 wonderful?
Based on the
15 feet.
kind of pushing him into Well, Guinevere's kind of on top of him. All right. So what does he have to make?
Strength.
Strength check.
Hang on. I need to roll one more time first.
Okay.
And then.
So 22 will hit.
And what the hell is it? 3 blows. Yeah, strength.
All right. Fails.
Fail.
10 yards, you said?
15
15.
feet.
Push
Yeah.
him to the edge of the tower with Guinevere kind of on top of him still. As he does, the tigers will make attacks of opportunity.
As will Drizzt. No?
Yes.
And the snake.
And the snake. The claws will miss. Snake can make an attack of opportunity. Drizzt will swing down with Icing Death and try to get one more good swing in as he push him away, and he does so. All right, so Drizzt gets one slice in, nobody else does.
And bite would have been with advantage.
Not for the reaction.
No.
Drizzt gets it in his case, but not for the reaction.
Good.
All right. So, as you push him away, Doc is going to aim one of his spare arms at Guinevere, and he is going to fire a fear ray at her. So, she crits. She's not afraid. Will, you're up next. You have this orb in your hands.
Yeah. How bad does Doc Ock look at this point?
He is looking not great. He's pretty bad off. He's taken a lot of really, really good hits. He's going to take a few more hits before he goes down, but he's not looking great.
All right, let's have some fun. I'm probably not. This is probably a bad idea, but hey, Will's going to have his fun. So he looks at the orb and he looks at his instrument, and he looks at the orb and he looks at his instrument, and he holds the orb in his left hand, and he plays a note. He uses the orb as a slide on the neck of his instrument, and he plays a diminishing note using the orb. So trying to get the orb to maybe give a little more oomph to the spell, I'm going to cast Polymorph on Doc Ock and turn him into a mouse.
All right. So link that spell for me, please.
Sure.
This is
he gets a wisdom save.
He does get a wisdom save, and you said you're using the orb to try to help empower the polymorph spell?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So
he's using it as a slide. Like people play the slide guitar with the
Yeah. So I need you. It's going to have a high DC, but let's see if you crit. I need you to make another Arcana check for me.
All right, let's do it.
If he fails, he's going to turn into a Tyrannosaurus.
And I will Bardic Inspiration this Arcana check.
Okay.
I'm glad I did that. Come on, baby.
Okay. So, you don't think the power of the orb has a strong effect on the polymorph spell? Unfortunately,
it was worth a shot.
Fun if it did, but it doesn't. So he'll make that wisdom save.
It was totally worth a shot. Failure. No, right? No. Yes.
All
My
right.
DC is a 15.
Okay, you said you were turning him into a mouse?
A mouse, yes.
Okay. You now have a mouse with 8 tentacles spouting out of it.
It'd be funny if it was so small. It's still
with
the tentacles.
It's just a mouse. I mean, all of his equipment and whatnot blends into the form.
Yep.
Well, yeah. It blends into the form.
No, but I mean, it like, I don't know. It's your call, but all right, whatever. It doesn't matter.
He turns into a mouse with a bunch of tiny little claws. Metallic claws.
And since both snakes and large cats eat mice, no, as long as we don't reduce him to 0 hit points at this point, then he'll stay a mouse as long as for the next hour anyway.
So
it should end combat.
Well, You'd think so, but at the end of your turn, he is going to. You're going to watch as this mouse with many arms leaps up, and is going to attempt to strike at Guinevere. And I'm just going to do the hard roll, but misses. All right, Kent, you're up.
Can I see the mouse from where I'm at?
Yeah, Guinevere is kind of on top of him.
And I can see him clearly?
Yep.
Alright. Well, I don't know what the fuck to do. Um,
Well, we should be out of combat at this point if he's the only combatant.
Let me read this. So the transformation lasts for the duration, up to an hour. The new form can be any beast whose CR is equal to or less than the target's. And it would be, if it does have a CR use level, the target statistics are replaced by the statistics of the chosen beast and retains its alignment and personality. So it's still angry at you and it's still attacking.
Right, but it's limited to the actions of its new form, and it can't take any action that requires hands or speech. And its gear melds into the new form, and it can't benefit from any of its equipment.
Right.
Your call, Killy. If the combat's over, I'm not going to cast anything.
You just have this mouse attacking you. I mean, it's up to you.
It's also a legendary creature, and 3 times a day it can choose to ignore a save that have failed. So if we
not this one.
Right.
Fuck it, I'm gonna cast magic missile at it.
All right.
Oh boy.
It's gonna break out of being.
Well, he's basically telling me that the combat is not over. What do you want me to do? Walk over and step on him?
Sure. I don't know.
No,
that wouldn't work. You would just turn back into a human.
Just grab it and.
You know what? I hold my turn. I ready in action.
All right. Doing the same, Tegan will hold his own turn. Drizzt is going to walk over to the mouse, and he's going to attempt to kick it off of the spire.
Can someone hold me?
He will hit. And he watches this mouse begins to tumble off the spire, and you hear a squeak as it falls and falls and falls. For the time being, you're out of combat.
You need to, let's see, hold on. Target takes the hit points of its new form. If it reverts because it drops to 0, excess damage carries over to the normal form. So I guess you need to calculate hit point damage from the fall.
You're assuming it's going to hit the ground.
Well, it's a mouse. Yeah, it would.
You're also, for the time being, out of combat. It drops beyond the storm clouds.
Can someone please unparalyze me?
Well, you should be able to be unparalyzed now anyway. I mean...
Oh, it's only up to a minute, so I guess I'm unparalyzed?
You're unparalyzed, yes.
Can I stabilize Mr. Toomes here?
Okay, done.
Yeah,
right.
Healing word. Anyone need a healing word?
As you're talking, you watch as the cloaked elf turns back in your direction, Will, and he says, "If you have some place to store that safely, such as a bag of holding, I recommend you put it in there for the time being. It will stop the detonation sequence."
Detonation sequence?
It's a bomb.
I think I've done that, says Will, but just to be safe, and he'll put it in his bag of holding.
Okay. As you put it in the bag of holding, the clouds around you begin to stop and begin to dissipate a little bit, and the sky becomes a little bit clearer.
I'm going to heal Toomes again, I guess.
Okay.
So I'll add that to the list of items. Orb of ultimate crazy power.
Okay. As you touch the good doctor, he begins to stabilize, look up at you, and he says, "You did not give in to him after all." He puts a hand on your elbow and he says, "I am proud of you, my student."
We'll get through this together. Now, we need to figure out how to defuse this bomb. It's in the bag of holding, but who knows what will happen when we take it out.
Drizzt will approach from behind and he says, "The orb itself is a tremendous orb of devastating power that contains the very elements of the evil planes of elemental. The only way it is sufficient, if you have any means of dispelling magic, at a high level, that would be your best option for moving it. And for the time being, your safest bet until you can do it yourselves or find someone who can, is to keep it within the demi-plane of your bag of holding. That will, at the very least, postpone the detonation sequence.
I approach him and say, "Thank you, sir. I know that you are Drizzt Showed and your name precedes you. My name is Kurt Connors, and we are the Diamond Bears. Thank you for helping us."
Does anyone like? I'm having a sense of the movie Mystery Men, Captain Fantastic or whatever, and they're all like, "Hey man, what's going on? Yeah, we're your biggest fans.
Yeah.
We hope to be you someday."
All right. So just for context, if you've not read a lot of the Forgotten Realms lore, this guy is one of the biggest characters in the entire Forgotten Realms, and basically why people play Drow elves.
So yeah, I wanted to make
Guys,
a melee hunter, but then I didn't want anyone to think that I was being a Drizzt. And I
I
didn't want,
I wouldn't have cared, but I hear
Also,
you.
I wanted a panther as a pet, and I didn't want anyone to make fun of me.
I wouldn't have
So
made
I
fun of
didn't.
you.
the only thing I've heard about this guy is that he's a good aligned Drow, which is
Yes,
odd.
yes, sir.
That's
He
the
walked
only
away
thing I know about him.
from the Drowels because he didn't agree with their hateful ways.
Drizzt will step back and he'll say, "I'm surprised you know so much about me."
I mean, you're a legend.
Faerun's a big place, but not that big.
That's not the right music. But he will look back at you, and he'll look at you, Dr. Connors, and he will say, "I couldn't help but overhear some of the conversation you were having with that strange individual there. Tell me, what is it he attempted to? What was it he was speaking of when he suggested you return to an original form?"
Well, I've not always been the scaly monstrosity you see in front of you. I was once very normal, and due to an accident while I was trying to regrow a limb, I turned into this Yanti mixture. Well, Yanti pureblood. I'm sorry. I'm not quite sure how to turn myself back, and I had asked him for his help, and clearly he took it 2 steps too far. The violin music's perfect.
Anyway,
Clearly, I couldn't trust him.
Drizzt will put a hand on your shoulder, and he says, "I've lived many, many lifetimes where others have viewed me as a monstrosity myself. I do not know the entirety of your circumstances, Dr. Connors, but I can share with you a bit of wisdom. There are many people in this world that are very quick to judge, especially for that which they do not understand. Mortals are like that. However, I would encourage you to not be so quick to judge them back. I find that the people who are worth saving, who are worth calling a friend, are those who judge you for who you are and not what you are."
Oh my god, you just got a Professor X speech from Drizzt.
I would totally agree, my dark-skinned friend. That's why I keep such great company here. But I do this for me, not for the view others place on me. I seek to be what I once was for personal reasons, not because I feel downtrodden by society.
He looks at you and he says, "Would you say that what you once were is who you are now?"
Oh no, I've changed quite a bit, but
Would you say it's for the better?
I look around, a little teary-eyed. Yeah, I would say it is.
He smiles a bit and he says, and a moment of silence passes between the two of you, and he says, and he looks at the rest of you and says, "I've heard some interesting rumors of the valley, particularly in regards to some of the weather that's happening here. I'm afraid I can't stay and investigate it myself. I understand that it is in good hands. I am heading up north back to Icewind Dale.
Oh.
Before I
sorry, not interrupting Drizzt.
Before I do, I have a gift from an old friend that I think may be able to help you, Mr. Connors. And he holds out a bow. The bow itself is interwoven with what appears to be some sort of vines from a distant forest. And you can see there's a faint spiritual energy that surrounds it. And he says, "This bow is a gift from an old friend, and I ask that you take care of it, remembering who you are. The power of nature itself is within the bow. Call upon your nature, and you may find that it may aid you."
I'm speechless.
What?
What the fuck is this?
Real fast, before Drizzt leaves, can we tell him about Eddie Brock? And the fact that he wanted to get his hands on the stone.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
He says, "Then I strongly suggest you do what you can to keep the orb away from him. Based on your description, I would not be so quick to trust that orb in the hands of certainly the Black Network."
Is this Montolio's bow? I'm fanboying a little bit. This is great.
That's a cool bow.
That's a ridiculous bow.
That's awesome. I love it.
So we should be taking a long rest before the next adventure, so you can attune yourself to this bow, right?
Before he mentioned something about dispel magic on the orb.
Yes.
I'd like to try that actually.
Okay.
It would need to be a high level dispel magic, he said.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could take a shot. I got three spell slots. My spellcasting ability is an 18, and I get Jack of all trades added to it. So I mean, I got a good. Even a 9th level spell, I'd have to roll a 19 or better, and I'm already at a plus 7 or 8.
So link the spell magic spell for me first.
Yeah. Cast at what level? Well, it's saying level 3. I'm just going to click this. This isn't a cast. Okay.
Okay, right. Any spell for each spell higher, make an ability check. So the ability check is going to be your spellcasting check, which is going to be your charisma. So you would need to make a charisma check to see if you dispel it.
If you can help me out with that,
just click the charisma button.
It's plus. I want to make sure that it's going to give me all the pluses that I'm entitled to. Is it built in to take my Jack of all trades +1 as well?
It should.
So.
And do I get a proficiency bonus with that?
Hold on. So
only if it has a check mark next to it.
So I just clicked on your sheet for the charisma check. So it has that 4 + 1 in the detail there. That +1 is adding your Jack of all trades. If you see that.
Okay, but it should be 7 + 1, right? Because
no, the +7 is your spell attack modifier. So that's including your total proficiency. So your +7 is your spell attack bonus. That's your charisma modifier of +4 plus the entirety of your proficiency, which is +3 at your level. The ability check that you make with dispel magic and with counterspell is an ability check, not using your spell attack bonus.
But don't I get proficiency on dexterity and charisma checks? Or is it just saves?
You get your Jack of all trades on those checks.
Killy,
no, proficiency bonus. Is proficiency bonus just on saving throws, or is it on ability checks as well?
Your proficiency is +3, and if you look at your skills in the core page, you have proficiency in your dexterity saving throws, you have proficiency in your charisma saving throws. That's adding your total proficiency to those rolls. Now, if you were to do a strength saving throw, and you hover over that, I guess Jack of all trades doesn't apply to that?
It doesn't apply to saving throws. It applies to ability checks. And this is actually one of the only other spells that his Jack of all trades should apply. There's 2 spells. That and counterspell. That's it. I read about it the other day when you first brought it up. It's those 2, so he would get his proficiency.
No, I'm not confused about my Jack of all trades. I know I get that +1. What I'm asking is, does my proficiency bonus apply? My +3 proficiency bonus?
No, because
Okay.
the jack of all trades is half your proficiency rounded down. That's where the jack of all trades comes in, and it only applies to things that you don't already add the full proficiency bonus to.
Okay, got it. So
if you're going to dispel magic,
I'm at a +5 for dispelling.
Correct.
All right. So yeah. So whatever. I don't know what the DC is. I don't know if you're even going to tell me.
I'm not going to tell you. You can try.
Right. Well, let's. All right. So I need to make.
Straight
check. I'm gonna. Can I bardic inspiration it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I just looked it up. He can.
Okay, so I have 3 spell slots. I have 2 dice of bardic inspiration. So I'm going to use up my first spell slot, my first 3rd level spell slot.
Okay.
And I'm 1 die of bardic inspiration. And here's my ability check.
Okay.
And I get to add a d8.
Okay.
So 16. So
it doesn't look like it has as strong an effect as you were hoping. This is very
all right.
powerful.
So it's higher than 6th level. So I'm going to try it again. And hope I get lucky again. Same thing. So I take the spell slot off, and my last die of bardic inspiration. Here's the ability check. Oh, never mind. All right, and then now using my last spell slot, just a straight up ability check.
Okay.
And that's not going to do it. Okay,
right.
So I failed to do it.
You didn't use your second die bardic inspiration on that crit fail. So if you want to add it to the 14, you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once within the next 10 minutes.
That's generous. I didn't know if you would consider it burned.
Once within the next 10 minutes, so you didn't burn it the second time you burned it. So if you want to add in that last die bardic
big money, roll it. Oh, fuck.
No dice.
Right. Oh well, all right. Now we can keep trying, I guess.
Okay, you put it back into the bag of holding, I assume.
Yes, so yes.
Okay. So before you do, Tegan will actually point out that he has the same capacity to try it, so he's going to give 2 shots at it himself. So he makes 2 wisdom checks. No dice. Not even close.
All right. Are we going to take a long rest before we do anything, or short rest?
As he's toying around with this, by the way, all of you can't help but notice that Drizzt is no longer at the top floor, and as you peer over the tower, you watch as, first off, Winnebar is nowhere to be seen. You think maybe it disappeared back into its figurine, but Drizzt is riding on top of what appears to be a unicorn, is riding off into the distance.
Is it a rainbow unicorn?
It's the god he follows.
Malachi, isn't it?
Maliki.
Yeah, I certainly. Well, it wasn't that far off.
That's hilarious.
That's great.
Well, assuming that we're not going to blow up, and we don't actually know if Dr. Octavius is dead.
Yeah, we should probably head down and see, right?
Well, let's do this. Because it's already time to basically call it for the night.
Yeah, but if he's out there injured trying to get away, we can track him. I still have my hunter's mark on him. It wouldn't be hard to track him down.
What's the range on that hunter's mark?
Nah, I don't know. Let me see. I don't think it has a range, honestly, but let's find out.
90 feet until the spell ends.
I can cast it until 90 feet, but it lasts for an hour, and then I can track them. So that's an easy way to track people if they get out of range.
Well, okay. If you want to go try track them before we sleep.
If you're focusing on that tracking, not only is the spell still active, it's moving.
Okay. Yeah, he's definitely still alive. I'm heading down the spire.
I'll go with you.
Get this fuck before he gets away.
Hey, Killy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been curious since we've been on top of this tower for as long as we have, and we were all on top of it once.
Before you leave, by the way, Dr. Toomes will say, I have something that may help you track your quarry, but you may have to wait.
Ooh. Okay, I'm listening.
He says, if you rush now, you're going to have a very hard time to track him. His own metallic arms give him apt movement even within the valley here, and I'm afraid that my vultures have been disabled. It may take me some time to get something that will aid to get you the item I thought might aid you.
So basically, I should not go try to track him down.
Basically, if you can try to go track him down and maintain the hunter's mark and everything, but he's going to have a much easier time moving through the pits and the valleys with his metallic arms than you will.
And the fact that he may still be a mouse.
No, as soon as he,
not if he's
I
moving
doubt
with
it.
his metallic arms.
Yeah.
If he survived the fall, it's enough to kill the mouse. So
Right.
the excess damage was not enough to kill him. And so he's probably gravely wounded, but still alive and in his normal form now.
All right, then let's take a nap.
Okay. So here's what I'll say since we're running out of time. If you're taking a nap, you gain the benefits of a full rest. So go ahead and give all your stuff back.
Yep.
The Dr. Toomes will point out the location of the entrance near to the spire into the ruins of Belsamir. It's about 100 feet down into the valley. And it looks like it's in a small sort of enclave. In fact, for that matter, I'll drag you over to the map over here. The location of the entrance is down in a gully where a river is flowing from, over in this direction.
Okay.
And as you rest and recuperate, he's tidied up a bit. But as you enter up to the top of the spire where he is, he will unfurl what appears to be a large rug. And he looks at you, Will, and he says, "Step aboard."
Oh, shit.
Will absolutely step aboard.
Okay. As you step aboard this large rug, he will utter the phrase, he will say, "Kingpin." And the rug begins to move underneath of you. And he says, "This should aid your movement throughout the valley and throughout the hills as well."
Oh, boy.
I, of course, have no need of it myself. I feel it's not as exhilarating as the wingsuit, but I understand this may prove significantly useful for you.
Is the command word Kingpin just because that's a Spider-Man villain?
Maybe.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Maybe.
Does this have to be attuned?
No, it's an on-use item.
Oh, awesome.
All of you can ride it at once.
This is a great piece of party equipment. Carpet of flying.
Oh, the question I had was, if I jumped off the tower,
Mm-hmm.
and right before I hit the ground, I cast Misty Step, would I live?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been wondering that since the first night we were up here.
I have a question.
What's that?
This bow of the wild says proficiency with a short bow allows you to add your proficiency bonus to the attack roll for any attack you make with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's sort of what proficiency does for all bows, right? If you have proficiency, you just check it and it adds your proficiency bonus?
So.
Oh, okay. I was hoping it would like double it or something. I don't know. No, that makes sense. And it is, how do I get charges back? It just says expend 1 charge.
I would assume daily.
But just like daily, I get some back?
We'll say every day. So that didn't even say how many charges it has, does it?
Oh,
we'll say it has, let's make it 12 charges.
Damn, awesome.
I'll give you a shit ton of it because it's a special bow.
Oh, a little hard.
That was good though. I like that.
Damn.
And that's it tonight, guys.
Awesome.
You guys realized that if Drizzt hadn't been there, we would have gotten our asses handed to us,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Okay.
My boy Drizzt.
Crow's gonna be upset.
Nah, I don't think he will. He'll listen to it.
No?
No.
Okay.
All right. I just posted our current list of magical items and the current undistributed treasure value in gold pieces.
All right.
It's because I know we discussed it, and I just want everyone to have the latest and greatest.
Does anyone want to inherit this longbow?
The dragon bone longbow?
Yes, sir.
I
With
don't
the
think
ice
I can
damage.
use it. I'd love to. I don't think I can use it, though. No, I think only hand crossbows for me.
I think you need somebody that was a fighter class or
Yeah.
another ranger or.
Right. Okay.
Technically, I could do it, but I think we should keep it.
Sure.
Tegan will point out that as an wood elf, he has some natural proficiency with the longbow.
Hmm.
Yeah. If I'll talk to him about it if he wants it.
Oh,
So
I didn't
just-
include that bow of the wilds, Kirk. But I will.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you need to because he's never using a bow again until that character dies.
No, I'm just saying I didn't include it on the list that I just sent out, but it still shows him with the dragon bone longbow attuned. I will
You were so
will.
worried about getting a new enchantment on that bow.
I'm so glad I didn't. God damn it. Nice.
That's awesome, dude. All right. Now listen, just real quick. I leave for Alaska Friday.
Mhm.
So next week, I'm not going to be here.
Okay.
The 1st is the day I get back. So depending on
Probably
when I
not
get
then either.
back, and what's going on, I don't know. I might get back and everyone's exhausted and goes to bed, and I'm free. So I will probably let you know the day of whether or not I'll be attending game on the 1st.
Okay.
But definitely I'm out for the 25th.
Okay. What I'll say then is, especially with Crow possibly being gone on the 25th, is we'll make 25th kind of tentative and see if we have 4 people. If we know we're going to have 4 people, then we can roll with it. If we don't wind up having 4 people, then I think we'll probably just postpone it that night. And then with Crow being back on the 1st, we should definitely be able to do it on the 1st.
Yeah, he
Cool.
didn't exactly say how long he was going to be going to me. I know he was going to be going this week, but I thought he would be back next week. So I don't know.
The Vegas thing is only
It's only
Like-
this week.
it's only this week.
After looking beyond the 1st, when does the expansion drop, and will that affect this game?
15th.
Yes. It drops on the actual release is going to be on the 13th. So what that'll do then is on August 15th and on August 22nd, we will not be having the game because the rest of us are going to be grinding through the expansion, and we'll resume the game on the 29th of August.
Okay, so 25th is tentative. 1st is likely.
Yes.
The 8th is definite.
Yep.
15th and 22nd we're off.
Yep.
And the 29th we're going to play it by year?
By the 29th, we should be clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
After 2 weeks, we should. I plan to keep this going again.
All right. Very good.
Perfect.
Very good.
All right.
While I get you,